Hello,
What
everybody,
is
and
up,
welcome-
everybody
hey,
out
hey,
there?
Hey,
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
I'm entering the show.
I'm interrupting the show.
No. What show are you on?
I'm on Hold Up a Sec.
I think you might have got your wires mixed. This is Split Screen Synics.
No, see, you're the one who probably got it mixed because you're on both shows, but I'm only on one, so it's Hold Up a Sec if I'm here.
No, but we're recording split screen right now. But really, forget about what that other guy was saying about that other show that he was trying to plug. This right here is Split Screen Synics. You guys are listening to your friends who you want to play virtual co-op with. Join us on the couch. Fuck that other guy. We're the Synics. You're listening to us. Welcome back.
And we got Tim.
And
Tim's here.
well, I was getting
missed you,
into
Tim.
introing everyone. I'm just saying.
Oh, sorry.
That. No. The other guy's not Tim. The other guy who was trying to mess with me doing the whole, other intro when I'm doing my intro. We're the Synics. The three of us are here. I'm here with my man Tim. Tim, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sleepy. I got new glasses and I'm vitamin D deficient.
Whoa.
New glasses, vitamin D deficient. Let's go. It's not one of the things that I should say let's go about, but I'm hyped.
I'm into it.
You heard him right now, and you heard him before. It's my man, Garrett. Garrett, what is up?
Hi, how you doing? I'm good. I'm also kind of tired from just Pax East and stuff. And I'm probably also vitamin D deficient, but I wouldn't know because I haven't checked. But otherwise, all good.
I don't think I'm vitamin D deficient because I think that I am of a race that just naturally is like we just go outside for like a second and absorb all the vitamin D.
That's your racial bonus.
I think that's part of the race that I was born into. It's like I don't even need to roll for it. I just get it. It means I don't burn when I go out in the sun.
If only.
If only.
Man, do I burn.
Like I said, we're your split screen Synics. The three of us are here to talk about video games, news, our impression of the news, and all that jazz. Join us on the virtual couch once again because we are the best show about video games on the internet. And having said that, let's not drag it out anymore. With any further ado, we're going to go right into the whole What You Playing segment. So, Tim, what you playing?
Well, I've been playing some Anthem. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I've gone back to some Shovel Knight, and I've been playing through like the Spectre Knight and Plague Knight segments of it, enjoying that.
How good is that?
I mean, it definitely isn't as good as the Shovel Knight aspect. Like it's cool. I love how much they fleshed it out, and they made all new characters. Plague Knight seems it's like you're playing through like the same levels basically, but
yeah.
But I mean, neither of them have the perfect feel that Shovel Knight did, but it's just it's fun to go back and play through them again.
I kind of felt the same way. Shovel Knight kind of wrapped it all in a nice little package, but I did enjoy how Plague Knight and Spectre Knight really changed up the gameplay in a completely different way. You had to learn completely different mechanics.
Yeah, it's I played through. I finished Spectre Knight, and it's kind of like by the end you kind of adjusted to like the weirdness of the controls, but
Yeah.
Plague Knight's definitely more odd, I guess, in how it controls. So it's probably gonna take a little longer, but it's fun.
Dope. I'm waiting for the I don't know if you know if you're into amiibos, but did you know if the new amiibos dropped?
I do not know.
Because I know they're
Isn't there enough? Don't they
Keeps
have like
going like, oh, you can do stuff with amiibos. I'm like, I have a Knight Solaire amiibo. I don't think you're gonna want that.
Isn't there like a King DLC or something coming out?
Yeah, that's dropping sometime this year. I know it's been I don't know if it's been announced or if it's been like pushed back, but I know that's one of the things that was
at PAX. There was like a poster
yeah. They had
for
like
it or
the whole display, and like Yacht Club Games had a whole booth, and they had plushies and everything. And they have like a Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and a King Knight amiibo, and I'm like, dude, I need that 3-pack of amiibos because I already have a Shovel Knight.
You gotta pre-order it, dude.
Oh god, is it DLC? Is it already sold out? This isn't an EA thing where I need to pay per amiibo, right?
Who knows?
Oh man, Garrett, what you been playing, dude?
A ton of stuff at PAX East. Obviously, you guys will hear about that in our segment 3, which is our little collaborative episode. But aside from that, getting home, I did start playing Sekiro. Shadows don't die. Shadows die twice. I don't know.
Have you started punching
Sekiro.
yourself in the nuts repeatedly yet?
I haven't because I was tired, so I didn't make it that far. I think I
okay.
hit the first boss, or he might be a mini boss, and he kind of slapped my shit the initial time, and that's when I went to sleep. Definitely a very, very different game than Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Definitely the similarities are there, but as far as approach and combat, it's kind of stealth oriented, which surprised me. And the combat itself it has like a rhythm to it because it's really about parrying and countering, and not so much offense or rolling around. A little bit of rolling around certainly. So that's fun. I'm gonna probably stream that later tonight, maybe a little bit. But yeah, other than that, a bunch of PAX stuff. Berto, have you been playing anything other than PAX stuff?
Other than PAX stuff, which, like you mentioned, our listeners are going to hear about in our third segment. The only other game I've really been playing is Anthem, because we want to, see as much of that game and see it in its entirety, at least from a story.
It's due for the game club. Which, by the way, next episode is our game club on Anthem.
Good plug.
If you haven't been playing Anthem, maybe read the article we're going to talk about in a little bit. But if you have been playing Anthem, please send us any questions or comments or whatever. Even if you haven't, ask us. We'll try to answer them.
Yeah,
you could be featured on the podcast. We'll be talking about that in exactly 2 weeks from when you're listening to this. So, and you'll see if we like it or not.
Yeah. On the plus side of things, I finally got my third multi-kill.
Oh, there we
with
go.
my Ranger Javelin. That took so fucking long.
Progression.
I know that one of the things that people were talking about when Anthem came out in February was you get to these like trial sections, and some of the things they ask you to do were like really hard or very challenging to figure out. I guess I was lucky because I played enough in free player at Expeditions where pretty much every tomb that I've gotten to, I met all the requirements. I got all the world events. I got all the, I got enough headshots or whatever the fuck those things were. And then it was the last tomb where it was like, you need 3 multi-kills. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I got 2 out of 3. This shouldn't be a problem. No, I got 1 out of 3. It shouldn't be a problem. Multi-kills is the fucking hardest thing to get when you're the Ranger Javelin, because you're like the most basic ass javelin.
We were kind of going through the same thing with Marino, because me and Tim were playing with Marino at one point. And he had the same thing, and he had the same issue. And I like Googled it, and it was like, oh, try restarting the game. And he restarted the game and immediately got them. So weirdly enough, I think it's more due to bug than due to
I wouldn't be surprised, but there was that one section we were playing together. I got a multi-kill. It was like ecstatic. And then I tried to get my third one. It wasn't happening. And then I think it was last night, actually, where I was playing, and there was like one segment where there was like enemies just coming at me left and right. And I was using, I think it was like a battle rifle. And I was just getting headshot after headshot after headshot. And it finally happened. And I'm like, all right, cool. Go to the fucking tomb. Get this thing done now. So that's what I've been playing.
All right. So again, 2 weeks from now, we will hear more about Anthem.
Yeah,
you will certainly hear more if you stick around. We did a little collaboration with Hold Up a Sec podcast. We were live at PAX East. You're going to hear some more video games in a bit, but let's go ahead and do the cynical spin. We'll get a little news.
Let's take it to the spin.
Out of the way. All right. So first news that was announced, it was kind of announced a bit back. It wasn't actually quite announced. It's more, I believe it was like Forbes, and then it spread to more sites and stuff. But basically, Nintendo was planning on 2 more models for the Nintendo Switch. Long story short, basically, there's going to be a model for kind of enthusiast gamers. Apparently, it's going to have a bigger power capability kind of thing. The one thing I saw was like the GPU chip is going to be more powerful. Again, this is all kind of rumor. It's not exactly 100%. But the idea might be that it can run games either at better frame rates, or it could possibly run stronger AAA titles, which would be interesting to see in the future.
That would be incredibly dope.
Yeah. And then the other one is like a kind of like a 2DS kind of an idea. It's going to be possibly cheaper, possibly less features. I know the HD Rumble was definitely a mentioned cut feature. A lot of people are thinking maybe the controllers are like attached to the system. So a true portable Switch could possibly be the second one. Whether or not this is 100% true or not, What do you guys think? You think this is a good move by Nintendo, or you think it's kind of a little crazy?
I always feel like it almost rubs me a little bit the wrong way when companies do this. When they release new versions of consoles, it's nice if you're trying to attract people who don't have the consoles already. But the last thing I want to happen is for a game to come out on Switch and me want to play it on my Switch and it being like, oh no, you need the new Switch to play this. And yeah, we've talked about this before. Like I have gotten the new 3DS. I've done this in the past, like way back in the day. I got Game Boy Color and stuff like that. Like I found myself in that situation, but if as long as it doesn't make the hardware I relatively recently bought obsolete, I have no real issues with it. But we'll see. The AAA title factor of it is obviously could be a big draw, but I don't know. Most AAA titles that are coming out on all the consoles, I'm gonna get on PC anyway, just because of PC, loading times and things like that.
PC Master Race, I get it. I see where Tim's coming from. My thought there is, you have I guess if you want to call the current Switch model, you're sort of your mid-level Switch, and then you're going to have your enthusiast level Switch, which is like one tier up, and then you have your budget Switch, which is one tier down. Obviously, with an improved GPU, are you going to have a case where you have, exactly like Tim mentioned, games that can play on one version of the Switch but not the other, but because you got in on the Switch when it first released, you can't play the new games that are coming out unless you buy a new Switch. So I can see where that's going to create an issue. But at the same time, the 2DS was like one of the most successful releases for Nintendo. They sold a shit ton of 2DSs, and I can see the appeal there.
That was the genius part of it to me is the lower capability and hopefully cheaper. Console is gangbusters.
Absolutely. Like a lot of us gamers who grew up with Nintendo, we're getting to that age where, maybe having kids is not as ridiculous an idea. And as we all know, kids are little dirt magnets. You give them anything, and in 5 seconds it comes back to you and it's dirty and sticky, and you're like, where the hell did this, how did you do this? So if you want them to start to get into gaming because you're like, oh, I got into gaming when I was your age at 5 or 6 and played Mega Man or whatever. And then you're like, I think you'd like this game. And you give them your Switch. That's a bad idea. But if you give them this budget level Switch, which can take a beating, that might be a smart idea. And it sort of tracks with what Nintendo wants to do, where they're like, we want 2 or 3 Switches per household, because that's how they sort of achieve this, this mass market, they want to dominate the market by making sure that you have as many Switches in a household as possible. And how do you do that? By dropping the price on the Switch, making it affordable to the point where you could have more than one Switch per household.
Yeah, and I could see people kind of, depending on how small and portable it is, maybe going for that, even if they don't have kids or aren't. Just because if the portability is right on it, I think it could appeal to some people. I do think Tim's right in that if they release stuff for the powerful Switch and it's exclusive to that, that's going to kind of suck.
If you start splitting your base, that's definitely going to become an issue.
Yeah.
So if Nintendo has that in mind and they don't release games that can run on one but not the others, and it's just like, hey, if you want the enthusiast level Switch, maybe it'll run games that are a little bit brighter. Maybe it'll make the games look a little bit nicer, but we're not going to release games that can run exclusively on your high-end Switch. I think that's a smart idea, with the caveat.
And I do think that could pull in some of the people who are on the edge who are either Xbox or PlayStation fans that maybe are like, you know what? I've wanted the Switch for the fun games, the Nintendo games and stuff, but now that it has some power to it and I could get Witcher 3 or something on it, that would be kind of dope. As far as battery life and stuff is concerned, no one really knows, so I don't think we should talk too much about that. Hopefully it gets better. So that should be interesting to see when Nintendo announces that and stuff. Interestingly enough, it's rumored for 2019, so I think we'll definitely see it at E3.
I was about to say, I
rumor's,
was just gonna
correct.
say an E3 announcement,
Yeah.
but no Reggie this year though.
Well, Bowser. It's Bowser's time to shine.
Bowser, oh my God, Bowser's gonna come out and he's like, "My name's Bowser. I'm about kicking ass, and here's your 2 new fucking switches." Boom!
Hopefully,
and he just dropped them on stage.
Hopefully, we can make a new inside joke with Bowser when we see him for the first time. Really,
Bowser
really
doesn't.
take the
I've seen
reins.
pictures of the dude. He doesn't look like a guy that does cocaine.
Well, you never know. It's a closet activity often. That being said, we'll move on to our second topic. We did touch on this last podcast. So maybe just kind of do little impressions of like, what we didn't talk about last time. But Google did announce its streaming service, Google Stadia. Kind of exactly what we were predicting from the GDC announcement.
For the most part.
Not too much new. A lot of skepticism on the internet, which is I actually found interesting. But as someone who actually tried it in the Google Project Stream test, I do understand why people have the trepidations they do. Because my own personal experience, like the input lag was 0. A lot of people were like, "Oh, there's going to be input lag and stuff." So who knows? Anything you wanted to add to last week's speculation as far as new information, guys?
The one thing I wanted to add is they told us a whole bunch of stuff about what Stadia may be able to do, what Stadia can possibly do, and how it can change your life. What they didn't tell us, and maybe this is because they're planning on waiting for something like an E3 or for some sort of bigger venue than a GDC, is what's it going to cost me? What kind of exclusive games are you going to offer me? Because at GDC, they were like, "Hey, you can get Doom Eternal on this. Hey, you like Doom? You can start playing it." They did announce that Jade Raymond is going to be heading up one of their proprietary studio. So clearly they're thinking about exclusives, but we don't know what exclusives they have to offer.
That's like a bit of new info, is that they actually are trying to develop their own games.
Yeah. So they announced we have a proprietary studio. Jade Raymond from like the Assassin's Creed series. She worked over the name of the studio escapes me at the moment, but I think for over in Canada it was one of the EA studios.
I thought it was Ubisoft Montreal or something like that.
Ubisoft Montreal, yes.
Maybe.
But yeah, she's heading up their studio, so she's like leading the Google team right now in developing games. So they have a plan in mind, but they didn't say anything outside of that. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions.
Tim, anything you?
I don't really like to speculate about things like this, I guess. I mean, maybe I should be doing it more because we're going to talk about it, but for me, it's kind of like we'll see what happens when it comes out. Things similar to this have been tried in the past, I feel like, with mixed results. Google obviously has the manpower and the financial abilities to make a really good crack at it, and who knows what gaming is going to be like 5 years from now, and if this is the next step. But for now, while it's in its infancy, I think we can guess about how well it's going to do, but just have to see how it pans out.
I mean, if anyone has the money to do it, it's definitely Google.
It is weird how quick people were like rah rah rah, but I do understand that. And Berto, I think you touched on it. Like, well, how are you gonna sell it?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, great, this is amazing. You have the technology. We know you guys have the money, but like,
I think last week we were all in agreements. Like, subscription is probably the
most
likely.
No, it seems like the way this is gonna work, it's gonna be a subscription kind of model, the same way Game Pass kind of works now. But it's like, okay, Google, if I had you had a 10-second elevator pitch where you're trying to sell this to me, and rather than talk to me about the whole technological aspect of it, give me the practical. I'm a gamer. Where's the so what moment that gets me to buy into this?
The one thing I did want to say that I thought was new, that we only really speculated on a little bit, they did say there was going to be multiplayer. They had some cool stuff with the multiplayer where it's like true synchronized events because it's all on server side and there's no client side. And they did say there's no cheating and there would be no data mining because of it. That excites me greatly because I think the reason why MMOs kind of are ruined forever is because of data mining.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's no more like community figuring out how to do stuff. It's just people.
Yeah, because it's like, let me
months
dive
ahead.
into logs and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I found this like piece of unused like art assets that says XYZ. Could
Like
it have
3
been-
months before it comes out, it's like, here's
Yeah.
the strategy to beat the boss. So that excites me a little bit. I think Tim's kind of right. We'll wait and see. Hopefully it's cool. Hopefully it's not, garbage, but it might be.
And hopefully they have a solution to garbage internet, because it's great if you live in a city like New York City or sort of the outlying suburbs, cities like San Francisco, LA, you talk about your major cities, they have the infrastructure internet wise to handle something like this. But what if you live in like, I don't know, pick a city in the Midwest anywhere that has no internet connection,
Not to mention
or if they
data
do,
caps.
it's like,
There's an answer for that. I think you're
Yeah.
settled.
Unfortunately, that's just like those people are going to be screwed.
so the answer for that is get a console.
The answer to that is like phone your politicians and see if they'll do something about it. Also, data caps will absolutely
Data
destroy
caps,
that.
yeah.
This is almost like if Google Fiber actually took off. Like this would make way more sense. Because Google could provide the infrastructure.
It's like, hey, you guys want to play our games? Awesome. Oh, you need internet?
Like here,
Fancy that, because we have internet.
it comes bundled. So we'll wait and see. We'll see how that goes. I think E3 we might see some stuff about that.
I would be surprised if they don't give us more information at E3.
Yeah. And then our last topic, which is somewhat on point for our next episode. So let's try not to talk too much about Anthem
Also,
specifically.
breaking news, as this article came out just today.
Literally today. So if you haven't read it, go read it. It's another great piece by Jason Schreier of just expose article fame. I used to not be the biggest fan of the dude, but he's been killing it on these articles. Basically, to sum it up real quick, definitely go read it. Don't trust my word for it. But he did a whole bunch of interviews with previous, current, and I guess future. That doesn't make sense. BioWare employees about the state and the development of Anthem. Long story short, there was a ton of things that kind of went wrong. A big part of it was this BioWare magic idea. Apparently, BioWare has this weird development phase where they have a ton of pre-development. Everything seems crazy, and then in the last year to year and a half, it all comes together, which sounds a lot like crunch. But apparently, BioWare actually had some fame in the industry for it. Apparently, stuff like Knights of the Old Republic and the Mass Effect games came together like that, basically in the last little bit of development. So that was a big part of it. Mismanagement, as far as there was no one really making decisions that much. So a lot of the gameplay ideas and concepts were kind of wish-washy. And again, no one was really spearheading, we need to do this. There was split development across the quote-unquote A and B teams of BioWare, which the A team of BioWare was the OG BioWare guys who were known to make great games. The B team was basically the team that handled the Knights of the Old Republic MMO. And apparently they got to do a lot of the hard programming work, and then the A team would send them ideas. The B team was like, hey, we have MMO experience. You should listen to us. The A team was like, no, we're the OGs. We don't have to listen to you. That was an issue. EA basically put the Frostbite engine as a requirement for all games going forward. Apparently that's a major issue because the Frostbite engine is very difficult to work in, as well as the Frostbite engine experts were kind of focused on FIFA and shit. So BioWare kind of got the back seat for that a lot. And then tons of people were leaving. The direction of the game was flip-flopping constantly. Originally, there was no flight. Then there was flight. Then there was no flight. The original concept was it was like a NASA spacecraft that crash landed on a planet, and it was like spacesuits that you cobbled together. Then it was changed to kind of more sci-fi fantasy. Then it went back.
It was
essentially development hell. Weirdly enough, EA didn't seem to take a lot of the blame. It seemed very much BioWare focused, which I thought was interesting because I was expecting EA was make this game. But the end result is kind of, and we won't talk about too much our feelings on Anthem because we are still playing it, and we're going to do a full one 2 weeks from now.
We'll save that for the game.
Yeah,
Club.
But I mean, Anthem currently has like between 50 and 60 on Metacritic. Essentially, commercially, it might be successful, but critically, it is a bomb.
Yeah.
Again, it's a kind of game that can evolve, so maybe it'll get better reviews in the future. What are your guys' takes on this? The one thing I just want to start with, I'm so shocked at how good the game is, considering apparently development only started about a year to a year and a half ago.
That was going to be actually be my leading point after reading this article, this whole expose that Jason Schreier again did fantastic work on, talking to current and former employees. Even though it was in they had been planning the game for the past like 5 years, it wasn't
I think it was a 6 or
production
7
until
year
like a year and a half
development.
ago. So
Yeah.
the actual work on the game didn't start until like 18 months ago. And the fact that the game is what it is now in a year and a half is still pretty fantastic, considering the giant shitstorm that it like went through in the whole development phase. Like that in a year and a half is still pretty fantastic, because I mean, I still have fun playing it, and you're saying that it had all these issues that it was mired under the entire time that it was in development. That's still pretty. I mean, I would consider that like at least chalk that up in the win column, considering all the shit that it was going through.
I think that's if there are people still hopeful for the game, I think that's part of the like silver lining is like, wow, they actually cobbled that together in like a year.
It's like given the crap you were working through and you cobbled together this in that time. I mean, it might not be the game you guys had envisioned, but at least this gives me hope that even working under the most like ridiculous circumstances, you were able to put this together. This is still like a very playable game to me. Like I jump in and yeah, some of the stuff might be like, oh, well, the missions are repetitive, but it's still a very fun game that I'm like, I don't groan every time I have to start up Anthem.
Just approaching it like as if I'd never played the game. It just sounds like a classic story of a big name studio trying to do too much at once with probably more money and staff than they should have, and it kind of just creates the shitstorm that that's gonna hurt the bottom line. And at the end of the day, if it's true that this is the only in the current game was developed in about a year and a half, like couldn't they just take another 6 months?
Yeah.
Like, couldn't they just work a little bit longer? If you're gonna go behind, like if part of your advertisement for the game is, oh, it's been in development for this long, then people are gonna expect more, and to give them essentially like a fraction of that time's worth of product, it's just gonna be a letdown. And I mean, based on the Metacritic scores, it's pretty much what came into fruition. But
and the game does have issues. We get like we all are going to talk about that in the next podcast.
It does. But I don't know why. Like everybody hates when games get delayed, and nobody likes that. But I just don't see how, as a company. I mean, like you said, maybe the game's doing well financially, so maybe I'm not. I shouldn't be making decisions for the company, but if you could just take some more time and try and coalesce the product into something that's actually finished, or at least closer to finished, then I don't know why you don't just decide to do that.
It is weird because reading the article, and I agree a lot with you, Tim, as far as like just take time and make a good game. Nintendo's been doing it for years. Blizzard Activision was doing it for years. I don't know if they're doing it as much anymore. But the weird thing, and the article kind of states that there was this weird like inner feelings towards the end where they were like, oh wait, like something's coming together, like something is actually happening here. So I can't quite. I don't think there's any one person to blame or one area to blame, because I can imagine if after 6 or 7 years suddenly you have something come together. The issues I had there, they mentioned a specific thing where basically one of the head honchos, I don't know who it was, lead producer or EA guy or somebody, came to see a demo. At the time, the demo had no flying, and it was like not looking that great, and he was like, "This is shit." And they were like, "Oh no." Put together something in 6 weeks, which was more akin to the E3 demo that we saw, where they introduced flying. They got a lot of the Frostbite guys to make it look really nice. And my issue lies with that is the E3 or first gameplay footage that we saw of it is basically that, which wasn't real. And that annoys me, because if you go back and look at the first gameplay footage of the game, it's a completely different game. The market looks amazing. The environment looks way more unscripted. There's just beasts floating around and stuff. And the gameplay, there's tons of stuff in there that didn't make it into the final game. And basically during the article, they made that, and then they were like, okay, how do we make that game? And that's where I really draw, like, that to me is the most hurtful thing for the consumers, because basically you're showing us to get excited about this game something that's fake, and I always think that's kind of wrong. So I think that's the worst thing to come out of this article, is that just like there's just blatant, like, let's just generate buzz and then we'll figure the game out afterwards. And I think that's probably what led to this thing, that the idea of we can do it later. And obviously they sort of did it, but not to everyone's expectations.
I mean, but it's not just BioWare though. When you're talking about, like, when you E3, how many demos have you seen at E3, or how many vertical slices have they shown at E3 that are nothing like the final product? E3 is sort of like the industry show where it's like, listen, we need to show what this game can be. And a lot of the times, or maybe oftentimes, I don't want to say a lot of the time, because I don't know exactly what the percentage is, but it's not uncommon for the demo you see at E3 to be very, very different from the final product you get. And obviously that was the case with Anthem when we first saw it. But then obviously today we read the article, and like, it came out that this game was like mired in development hell, developing with the Frostbite engine, which was developed to be a first-person shooter engine for the Battlefield games. And EA is like, hey, we're going to make this our proprietary engine. Every EA game needs to use Frostbite. The developers said that using Frostbite was akin to like developing using razor blades, because it was that painful. I think that was like one of the legit quotes that they said. Like, trying to make a game with Frostbite of this caliber was ridiculous, because this engine was not built for this game. So everything was stacked against them from the beginning. So having read this, I'm like, I can see why this game came out the way it did, because they were really fighting like the biggest uphill battle.
Yeah, and again, at the end of the day, I think the main blame is you set a date, and you weren't willing to change the date. So I think Tim's right at the end. Like, and I know it's bad for quarterly profits, and I know it's bad for stockholders and that kind of stuff. But clearly, the pushing out a bad game is worse for those. So what are you gonna do?
I think it just hurts the brand. That's the main issue. Is that
it does, because there was a whole bunch of promise for this game. This was honestly one of my most anticipated games for 2019, because having seen that demo at E3 when it premiered, I think 2 years ago, it was like, this game looks like it could be all kinds of amazing, and I was really hyped for it.
You know, apparently it's similar to what happened with Andromeda. Apparently Mass Effect Andromeda kind of had the same stuff happen. So hopefully BioWare and EA will learn their lesson for the next one. Honestly, I hope they do their duty and fix the game. Final Fantasy XIV did it. They literally started the game fresh. I'm pretty sure BioWare could maybe fix this game. We will probably talk about that 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. EA, stop using the Frostbite engine. Don't try and make the Frostbite engine happen. It's not a thing.
But that is going to wrap up our news. We got a kind of funky episode this week. We're doing our segment 3 all about PAX East. We did it in collaboration with Hold Up a Sec, which is Berto. He's a co-host in that podcast with Andrew. So you're going to be hearing that from us live in just a second here. But Tim, I did want to give you your little shout out, if you had one, just before we kick it to the funky live episodes.
Oh, my plug?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you plug in?
In the immortal words of Richard Brautigan, a piece of green pepper fell off the wooden salad bowl. So what?
Is that a haiku?
That's the haiku.
Okay, just to check. So
I
that
love
is
these plugs.
that's the split screen Synics portion. We got hold up a sec split screen Synics coming up live at PAX East 2019. Any fans of us, please give them a listen too. They got some great stuff. Berto's on there. He's handsome as ever. So keep
You're
on
too kind.
gaming. Enjoy segment 3 and peace.
Peace.
Take it easy.
Hello,
What
everybody,
is
and
up,
welcome-
everybody
hey,
out
hey,
there
Hey,
in-
hey,
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
I'm entering the show.
I'm interrupting the show.
No. What show are you on?
I'm on hold up a sec.
I think you might have got your wires mixed. This is Split Screen Synics.
No, see, you're the one who probably got it mixed because you're on both shows, but I'm only on one, so it's hold up a sec if I'm here.
No, but we're recording split screen right now. Aren't
I was invited to heel face shoot.
Hey guys,
Oh
it's
my-
Andrew. This is Albert over here. And
Is that
Garrett.
that's the name, right?
Yeah, that is. That is. That's the wrestling one.
did we get it wrong the entire time? Where's Tom?
Tom. Oh no, we've left Tom.
Shit, are we doing the wrong show?
Home Alone
Shit.
5th. We went to Boston and got drunk.
Home
Thomas!
Alone, Home Alone 5th.
That was a good reference. That was a really good reference.
So we're here for PAX East, guys.
Hell yeah, we're at PAX East.
First night of PAX East has been completed.
I mean, technically, the
for
first
us.
night was
Level one.
last night. This
Oh, yeah.
morning.
That's the Thursday where they sell out of all the good
Yeah,
stuff.
you know the hoodie I really wanted that was sold out on Friday.
Dude,
Yeah.
Of
fucking went to the Yacht Club games, and in my pinup session, I saw they had a penny arcade of Shovel Knight, and I'm like, I need that pin. So I get up and I'm like, I will have one of your finest Shovel Knight pins, please. And they're like, we're sold out. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
I have a question. Did you what you said pin up session? Is that what they call that?
Penny arcade.
Oh, I thought you said there was a pin up session.
That's a totally
Oh,
different
that's
thing.
why. Remember, we said we were going to see him in 20 minutes, and he disappeared for 2 hours. It's because he found the pinup
It's
That
a,
was the
yeah, no,
session.
that was a totally
the
different
old-
thing. That's you have to talk to a guy, give him a secret password, and then you have to go into a back room.
Z password.
Yeah. What is the password?
That's where you get the media pass.
That was last year's password.
This is a new one.
I meant to make the joke before. You're like, oh, if we had the media pass, we could skip lines. I was like, if we had the media pass, we could skip the bathroom. I was like, that'd be sick.
They
Like,
should have a
That's
Listen,
why I
media.
wanted
listen,
it.
guys.
This is media. We have to check out the bathroom. We're gonna write about it.
We're
Look,
g-
look,
we're gonna
look
tell
for the
people how
article.
Shitty the bathroom is.
It's on the bed.
Oh
I
God,
got
is this my wedding? Where's
That-
the DJ?
You know the best part is that's the second time that joke's been made today.
Because someone blew a reggae. Is it a reggae horn?
We
Is that
heard
the-
one,
I
and
heard
Garrett
one-
turned to me and goes, "Oh, we had Alberto's wedding."
I
Like,
heard when I was waiting for Cyber Shadow. I hear "Brr, brr, 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 brr," and I was like twitching. I'm like,
You just start dancing.
and I'm like,
and
oh crap!
crying.
I gotta
You're
like, yeah.
memories.
So I know this is a crossover episode, but we are gonna do a quick hold up a sec segment, which is what we're drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what
wow.
we're drinking?
Guys,
It's
guess what?
Morton's.
It's the
It's Morton's. It's Grant's. It made the trip.
Grants. It's at PAX East now.
It's at PAX East now. So we got Grant's. Garrett's never had Grant's.
Grant, it smells weird.
So he's gonna have Grant's for the first time, and then we're switching to Bud Light Limes,
because you can pound like 50 of these overnight.
which we really definitely did.
I mean,
last
not
night.
50, 24.
That's
All
right, you craft beer drinkers of the world.
Yeah,
Listen,
right?
don't judge us. They're easy to drink, and you can
Yeah.
drink a lot of them
It's got a
and
nice-
be fine the next morning.
There's a hint of hand soap, and
I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, then yes, there's a little bit of hand soap. in
quite a
there
nice
for you.
hot,
So,
hot profile.
Cheers on the Grants,
Cheers.
guys. Cheers on the Grants.
to Morton's.
To
R.I.P. Morton's.
R.I.P. Morton's.
I get the smells odd.
That is smooth.
That is
I love
that's liquor.
I love that they
Grants,
can
it's
hear you
liquor.
trying to like masticate it.
You're like,
Grant's, it's liquor.
Has it hit the right like taste bud yet?
That-
Nah.
Honest opinion. And I'm not crazy into scotch, but I like scotch a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've had some good scotch. That tastes like if scotch was Coke, this is Diet Coke. Like it's just
Okay.
it's just
I'll take that.
Actually, that's not a bad.
and it's not bad because
Yeah.
it's sort of smooth, but it's smooth in a weird way.
I actually enjoy it more
Honestly.
than Johnny Walker.
Well, yeah, well, Johnny Walker's like a weird, like
Fuck you, Johnny
blend.
Walker.
Everyone's like, no, you got to try the blue label. It's like, no, it's
No.
still
No.
like blended. It's
Stop
kinda-
I
it.
bought my
Is
brother.
this single malt? Is this a nice single malt?
I mean, it's a Grant's malt. I don't know.
Grant's malt.
Grant's,
Grant's. What's a malt?
it's not Morton's, but
This isn't a
uh,
milkshake. That was
I-
a dumb joke, and I'm sorry.
I'm trying to come up with a clever tagline. I'm just like, I don't know. That's just
Any
a weird
tagline you come
that's
up with is a
weird
clever
thing.
tagline for Morton's.
I like it's liquor.
Grant's. Don't look for Morton's.
Grant's. We're not Morton's. I bought my brother a bottle of Blue Label when my first niece was born, and that was like my gift to him for his like, oh, your first year, like you brought a child into the world, you created life. Here's a $250 bottle of whiskey.
You created life.
Here's whiskey.
I mean-
Sorry, is there a lyric in a song where it's like you created life?
I'm sure there is.
I had
you
a
know,
weird flashback.
songwriters.
I'm thinking
love.
of "Isn't She Lovely" when it's like our love created.
Oh,
you, but,
actually,
like,
yeah.
I can just imagine Berto like he's opening
I know, he's like,
the,
"Isn't
the
she
bottle package and like
lovely?
it's slow motion.
Some Blue Walker label for
Johnny
you.
Walker Blue for when you don't know what you're doing.
From when you make a baby.
When you want to know, when you don't know what you're doing, but you want to pay a
But you-
lot for
but
it.
you wanna- But you're paying like you do.
Yeah, because you like Blue Label. Oh, you got to get Blue Label.
And Blue
Label's
Label is, like,
exclusive.
That's the level of Johnny Walker where it's like, okay, I get what they're going for.
Yeah,
at
it's
least,
like you know that's like the high end.
Yeah.
And then when we cracked the bottle open and we had a little bit, I was incredibly underwhelmed. For the price tag, it's not a $250 bottle or
No.
whatever it is now. Not even
which is funny
by a
because
long shot.
Japanese blended whiskeys
Is so much better.
For everyone tuning in, Pax East is not a whiskey convention. It
right
is a
away.
gaming one.
Welcome to Hold Up a Sec. Oh, wait, it's Split Screen Synics. We're going to have 4 hours of raw.
And we're drinking
vodka.
whiskey. Morton's. It's not Grant's.
One of the recent Split Screen Synics, I just had a pint of Di Serono. I was like, this will
That's
do.
awesome.
I was like,
I love Di Serono.
Di
Did you go
Serono.
like Di Serono on the rocks? Di Serono.
And
Oh,
then
that is
ice.
hilarious.
did you
Yeah.
stop someone from like taking it away and take the ice and put it like all over
And
your
like
lips
centrally
and stuff?
put it on my mustache. It was like,
Like you should have seen.
Um,
Like when we record, we obviously do it via video chat. So
Mhm.
like I was like, Garrett, what are you doing? And you just see like Gary's like, Di Serono.
it's like,
Di Serono.
well, Pokemon really has a lot of.
The
I
best
don't-
part is, I want to tell people I wish they could see you do that, but you could hear it. You could hear that you
Dude,
like
the
doing that.
dynamic mic, it's like it's picking up the intricacies.
It was very
Um,
weird. It was like one of the moments that I was glad we don't do video yet because
Yeah.
people would just be like, "What's
in the
going on
Di
there?"
Serono episode, I had to edit out because he was like doing the launch, and you just hear me, and I'm just like, like I'm just slugging weird syrup. Di Serono, it's not quite liquid.
Oh, okay, so PAX East, guys.
What's
that?
Are we talking
It's a
about
whiskey
Mo-
convention.
Aren't we talking about Morton's?
So we spent our first day there. We saw some
Mhm.
stuff. Alberto played a game. What's some stuff you guys enjoyed while you're there? Alberto, why don't you go first, man?
I actually, my usual MO, and you guys, I'm talking to you guys, it's sort of the same MO when you go to like a big convention is usually scope out, see what's going on, get the lay of the land, and sort of like make mental notes of where you want to hit for the next day.
Yes.
And that's usually my go-to.
Pin location.
Yeah, I know. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, all right, where are the pin dealers at? What pins are they selling? But today I knew I wanted to go to the Indie Mega Booth. I was like, Indie Mega Booth has like hidden gems, and instead of waiting on those big lines for like Sony or for like Nintendo to play, Yoshi's Crafted World, which you can get the demo out anyway, so I don't want to wait an hour to play Yoshi's Crafted World.
True.
It was like, let me see what smaller games are there that are really fun, have like 2 or 3 people waiting and to demo them, and you have the devs right there generally to talk to them about the game. And I ended up actually playing like 3 games in the Indie Mega Booth, and they were actually really fun. I played One Finger Death Punch 2, the sequel to One Finger Death Punch.
Hmm.
Two-finger death punch. Come on.
I
Yeah,
mean,
right?
you figure
Why
that
would
that would
You're right. Missed opportunity.
It is a
One
missed opportunity.
toe death kick,
one-toe death dude. You have a future in video game marketing,
or
or two-toe death kick.
whiskey marketing.
Whiskey marketing.
They're like,
Very
"Dude,
true.
You're having an easier
It's
time
not
with this than
Morton's.
the Grants.
It's not Morton's.
Stop with the Morton. Say it's liquor. It's liquor.
You're costing us our Grant sponsorship.
Grants, we still like to drink you. Please sponsor us. We will buy all your bottles. I'm pretty sure we have all your Northeast sales right now.
Grants, I bought a liter.
Grants, it comes in liters.
There was a handle size that I almost got, and I was like, no, I don't.
You
think
would
we
have made that sales reps like weak.
They said we shouldn't have put it in handles.
I know, and
And I showed them.
and somebody's like, "You told me I'd never sell a handle. Guess what?"
Look at the Northeastern papers. There's one sold right there. Long
Grants,
Island.
it's shocking it doesn't come in plastic.
No, but for real, the bottle is shockingly nice. It has like the crest air blown into it and shit like that.
And after
And a
finishing the
label.
rest of mine, like I get it.
And a
It's-
label
It's
on the
easy
corner.
drinking scotch,
Yeah.
which is interesting because it's still peaty.
How we're back on whiskey.
Sorry.
I also
This
played.
was also my fault.
I
so-
also played Mage Quit. And
you almost made me mage quit this podcast. Bye, everyone. I quit.
All right, that's it. Podcast is over.
Oh, that's
Pack it
rough
in.
that I didn't
We're
get that one.
done.
You said mage quit, and I was like, mage quit? What does that mean? Like,
Why is he? What the fuck is a Mage Quitter?
I was like, mage quilt would be a good game.
And then the other game I played with my wife is Fling to the Finish, which was actually really fun. We were good at that because we
I saw that one walking by, and that looked it reminded me of like Gang Beasts because like
Yeah.
the goofy physics.
Oh, yeah, the
kinda.
goofy physics are.
It's
and
not similar in game, but just like the
you know,
goofiness.
the very like floaty physics were definitely reminiscent of Gang Beasts, and you both play as a team using one controller, which was also really interesting.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that aspect.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I'm not a big fan of like how you can play Overcooked on one controller. Not a fan.
like go wash your hands first.
Yeah, it's like, excuse me. So that was really.
Oh
fun.
no, I meant gross. Like I don't like playing with another person. I could be at home with my fiance who I love, and I'm like, nah, I need my own controller, please.
Yeah, no, this was definitely an experience where we're both holding like an Xbox One controller, and I'm like holding the control pad and sticks on the left side with the shoulder and trigger buttons on the left side, and she's doing the same on the right. And we had a minute like navigate our way through a maze-like course.
Hard pass on that one for me.
It was kind of fun. It was
It
interesting.
looked
Oh,
interesting.
look at me! I had a great time with my wife. Ugh. I thought I heard her coming down the stairs.
I was
I
like,
was gonna be like, ha ha ha! I'm kidding for the podcast though.
Oh my god, it's just a character. I'm so sorry.
It's like, no, you're really a lovely woman, Allison.
Well, I know she's asleep because I stole some of her sour straws and she was like right behind me.
Yeah, no, if you go to
I
her,
still feel
if you go
bad.
near her candy and she doesn't like react, you're good.
Allison, I'm so sorry. I stole a couple. I already told Alberto, but I'm telling you on the podcast now.
I know you're confessing left and right to
I
that.
know.
She doesn't listen.
I'm
You
so
were
bad.
like, I think I might take some sour straws upstairs. I was like, I'm sure that'd be fun. Like, I don't know why you're telling me.
I walked downstairs immediately. Was like, Alberto, I stole sour straws.
I also played Cyber Shadow. I was just talking about.
Yeah,
it.
the big
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also played Cyber
Good
Shadow. That was-
segue.
I was like,
Oh wait, you guys can talk about whiskey for 5 minutes, but I can't talk about sour straws and guilt.
The good segue killed it.
I completely forgot about the sour
We should just
straws.
start doing that for the good segue, bro.
Yeah. I am the king of segues. So anyway, back to these sour straws. How were they? How was your guilt?
I'm not sure if it was worth it. So how was Cyber Shadow?
That was actually worth it.
Cyber Shadow looked gorgeous.
It was totally
It's
fun.
that old school like retro graphics done very well.
It is done incredibly well, and it's I don't think it's made by Yacht Club Games or if they published it because it was at the Yacht Club's game booth.
The making and publishing thing is throwing me off.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I have to look into it to actually see who is behind the game, but the quality of the game is very, very good. It's got some good polish, very good nostalgic side scrolling, very reminiscent of like Ninja Gaiden. Definitely not. No, the level I played was a little bit challenging, but I don't think it was as punishing as Ninja Gaiden used to be on the NES. But
Well, I always wondered for those demos, like, I feel like it would be detrimental for them to be like, let's give them the hard one. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, a games sell on that nowadays. So
yeah. I mean, and when I got up there and they're like, "Oh, we have 2 levels for you to demo." One of them, like, they're both challenging. One of them's a little bit harder than the other one, and you have to use a little bit more of the game mechanics. I'm like, "Oh, well, that's the one I want to do because I want to see as much of the game right now as I can." And it was actually still pretty challenging.
I do think it's funny as the casual gamer in this trio, standing next to Garrett watching you play. My favorite part was when you went, "No, not the lore, Alberto. Don't
like
do the
Berto's
lore."
got like a time. I figured it was timed, right? You had like 5 minutes or something.
I thought it was time too, but it took
And
me
Berto's scrolling through like a terminal that's like reading him like a bear. I'm
I was like,
Berto,
Apparently,
don't-
that's not something you're supposed to
don't
do in your
read.
demo.
No, like when you're playing at home,
Yeah.
sure, but you got 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah, like,
dude,
I didn't
get to the
like.
boss.
I mean,
bro.
I got to that terminal, but there was a power up that I got to by activating the node. So I was just pressing the buttons to get through the scrolling text, and I'm like, just let me activate the node and get my like power up.
I was thinking of the Simpsons episode where Homer's like gonna eat the huge steak.
Yeah, and he's like filling
And
up
then
on the
Marge
bread.
is like, "Don't eat the bread," and he's like buttering a piece.
Yeah, he's
of
like
bread.
buttering. It's like, no, you'll fill
it's
up on the
Berto,
bread.
are you reading? Like, what are you, like-
Don't fill up on the text.
And then I was yelling like, "Berto, play more defensively," because you did.
You
I think
did
you
say
died,
that
right?
too.
I died
You died
I died
once.
like 2 or 3 times.
Whoa, noob.
You
Dude,
suck.
some of those jumps are challenging. Those chasms are unforgiving.
Sorry, I'm like trying to like, since this is like the crossover, I'm trying to be cynical as well. Fuck off.
Video games stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it's Saturday the busiest day.
Yeah,
usually
It's going to be pretty busy. Pretty packed tomorrow.
That's,
Lots of body heat, lots of body odor.
I might do no jacket.
I was
Yeah.
actually, for a convention, very appreciative of how little body odor there was. Only one person had a body odor, and there's one of the freaking enforcers.
Our Uber driver was a little schmelly. I don't know if you picked up.
On the way over?
Really?
Leaving from Trillium, I thought I picked up a little something.
Really?
No judgments.
His car smelled like cucumbers. That's what Allison kept saying.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe either she
you
or
hate
I
the
was
smell
having
of
a stroke. I don't know. I don't like cucumbers, but
Okay, so maybe that's it. Maybe you just don't like
or
cucumbers.
maybe I just like was close to myself or something. I don't know.
Garrett was so he's like,
I was the stench the whole time.
It was me all along.
It was me all along.
Twilight Zone twist.
It is funny though that you mentioned like and I think PAX is a cool convention because I think it breaks some of those
Yes.
kind of bad things you hear about conventions a
Yeah.
little bit because it is very clean.
Mhm.
It's relatively open on the show floor. It's tight, but like it's not this weird grungy like, oh, there's only like hardcore dudes with like ponytails or something. Like it's like you see people of all varieties, and you see kids, you see families, you see men, women, whoever. Like, and it's everyone's kind of like relaxed. That's my favorite part about it.
It is it is a very laid back vibe. I do love PAX East. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
conventions to go to.
I agree.
And having been to not many other conventions, to be honest, I went to Comic-Con basically with you, Berto, one time. And that one seemed in comparison very like I almost felt like I was kind of like out of the loop because I'm not the biggest on comic
Yeah.
books. And I just felt like, oh, it's like, it doesn't seem like there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas PAX, I feel like has something for, even if you don't really like video games that much, it's still just kind of cool to walk around.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm casual gamer, so I like the tabletop stuff.
Could you casually pass me another Bud Light Lime?
Are they down here?
Oh, is that bag not with them?
No, those were chips.
Did you not get that 6-pack?
I did not get.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask Garrett some of the stuff he saw and
Sure.
enjoyed, and either Alberto and I are gonna go get beer while he's doing that.
No, we could just wait,
Okay,
right?
you sure? I
I
mean,
mean-
we're only gonna be on here another like 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
I'll
wait.
just wait. Yeah.
And this might stay in here, guys, so you get to hear our thought process.
hot dog. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, and it's kind of funny because Berto and I have different approaches to the PAX convention. Like, I just like taking it all in. So I rarely jump on the line for anything.
Yeah.
Me and Andrew were cruising around today. Like, it was funny because we were just like, let's hang out for once because we never
Yeah.
do. So we were just kind of cruising around talking. But I love I just like seeing all the different games, the art styles, all the cosplay, like the stuff that's for sale. Like I like the package as a whole. I do have a little trepidation where I'm like, I don't want to bother that guy and like play his video game or whatever. So tomorrow the ice will be broken.
Tomorrow I am bothering all the guys and girls and playing all the
Yeah, because I do have a list of games that I do want to try. I think it's called Moving Out or Moved Out.
Oh, I
want
want to try that. Yeah.
It looked like Overcooked, but you move.
But move people out,
furniture.
and it's like the different things are like the suburbs, haunted house.
The
Like,
fact that Haunted House is
is one-
level.
it's all like
You can
different
move
locations
out
you're
of a
moving
haunted
in and out
house.
of. Oh,
Like
yeah.
I was like, oh wait, that sounds like you move a coffin or something. I don't know. It's funny because the
You-
art style reminded me of Overcooked, but I don't think it's related in any way. I'm not sure.
You move a dead body.
What was the game where it looked like you just kind of built like a quiet fort and a farm?
I'm
Oh
trying.
my
to,
gosh, I walked by
Settlements
that.
or
It looked
something?
great.
Yeah, we walked by that, and you're like, I'm going to try that.
I actually stopped in my tracks. And was like, oh, should I actually talk to somebody?
see. I'm not. I don't like those style of games. I'm not a big strategy like Civ type game. I never got into them, and I don't see the draw in them. Again, not my style of game, which isn't to say that they're not fun. I'm sure they're incredibly fun, but I just like SimCity was like the most I've tried for those for the SNES, and I still couldn't get into that. And that was like super basic.
There's something about the ones where it's like the beginning of the game is like you're just trying to like get a farm kind of going and like a wall maybe, like that extreme slow start. For some reason, I'm super into it. I feel like one of the Age of Empires was like that. I can't remember. There was a game that I showed my dad years and years ago.
Age of Empires used to be a real slow burn.
Yeah, that was
because you
I think
actually
I was
went
talking
through
about,
all the centuries and you built it from like
and
Stone Age.
There's
to-
something about the little like the concept of like, because like Civilization, I get those and I play those and I kind of like them. I don't know how I feel about them, but like you're taking Civilization, and you're like, but here's like 20 people in a little wooden fort, like, and a farm.
Keep them alive.
And that's what it looked like. I'm hopefully I'll get to try it tomorrow. That looked really interesting. We did, what was the basketball brawling game?
Project Dunk.
Project Dunk. That looked interesting,
looked
but
really
like it was
interesting.
funny because the artwork, it's this super
Yes.
wide, ripped, panda-headed luchador with a chair.
It looks like it's going to be a crazy bonkers
And
wrestling
It looked
game.
like a crazy bonkers wrestling game. And it's like, oh no, it's like a basketball game where you fight. And I was like, oh well, that's
Like I was
Like,
kind of like,
what?
okay. I mean, the design looks gorgeous, and
Yeah.
I it doesn't look like it's for me, but it looks like I'm like this could make a lot of people
and
happy. So you should
it could
go
be a
check
fun
out.
like party game. It looked like.
Yes.
There was a couple others I saw. For me, I think the indie mega booth is why I go to this
Yeah.
thing, and it's funny because the indie games, like just seeing the art styles and stuff, like
Yes.
I like.
so many.
Yes.
I literally
Yes.
pointed out to Andrew, I was like, look at that cute like mage girl or whatever for that game. Like, and I just saw it was just a picture of her.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I kind of like that art style because it was like kind of like she was like cutesy, but then like seriously decked out in like robes and stuff. I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain
it's
it.
super cool.
but, like-
we should figure out what the name of that
yeah,
one is
the
and
actual
talk
game
about
of
it
that is
tomorrow night,
Yeah,
which you guys will hear in just a few minutes
yeah, right. Oh yeah, I
when
guess
this is edited together.
With the
slap
so-
those
magic
together.
of editing.
we should just have 24 hours of silence, and it's, like,
Like we'll hear about it tomorrow
The
in
co-
real time.
the committed
it's just
oldies.
us stumbling around. Like we just leave
we just
it
leave
on.
just leave the mics on live, and they
Yeah.
get like background and ambient noise.
Yeah, but also some of the cool parts to PAX. And we didn't do any panels or whatever, but like the side things, I also think are cool to just check in on. We kind of walk through those.
Mhm.
They have like free play setups, and there's a whole LAN area
Mm.
where you can free play. Like I just like walking around, and seeing what people are playing.
Guys, I really think we should free play at one point for just like half an hour.
We definitely should.
We just all sit down and free play a game together.
and just like play something because there's PC ones and then there's also arcade ones and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Which that might be a good Sunday activity. I wonder because
It's very yeah.
I
Like,
do
Yeah.
think Saturday's the busy one.
yeah,
Yeah,
Saturday's tomorrow's gonna be a heavy day.
tomorrow going to trigger that anxiety.
But hey, if you got anxiety, they have the wellness like room. I forget what it's called. Like it's take this has a
it's like AFK, isn't it? or
yes,
something?
that's what it's
Yeah.
called, the AFK room.
It's like chill out and don't have to worry about video
Yeah,
games and
it's
stuff.
run
for a little bit.
by Take This, and it's like, listen, if this convention's getting you like worked up, if your anxiety's kicking into high gear,
That's
here's a room
awesome.
for like just come in, sit down, relax, decompress.
Yo, that's amazing.
Yeah,
And way more helpful than the guy at the first aid was.
Oh yeah, he was kind of.
He's kind of
I
a.
feel like he was like a security guard guy. And he
You
was
mean-
like,
he's like, what? You got a headache? Yeah, take some ibuprofen. Get
I
at
literally
it.
was like, hey, do
Wait.
you guys have aspirin here? And what he was like,
He's like, no,
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 like
And,
move
like-
along, kind of. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
All
this
right.
isn't the aspirin you're looking for.
Yeah.
Like the
I
other,
don't need
the other guy
aspirin.
was super nice.
think
He
it
was
was-
just
yeah, it
like,
was
you know, there's a store, and I went to the store, got ibuprofen. But like
Oh,
the
you have to
first
go to
guy
the
was
store in
like,
the hotel.
yeah, 2 years in a row, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ritual.
I need to bring ibuprofen next time. But yeah, so.
What was your experience as far as I know you've been before, but like
I love the vibe comparative to like a New York Comic Con. It is much more of a friendly vibe. We just kind of walked around for 3.5 hours.
at one
or
point
4 hours.
we had been walking for like at least 2 hours straight,
Yeah.
and like we had stopped even looking and stuff. We were just chatting about like podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
Because again, it's funny, Andrew. The only time we hang out is when like we star, or I would say star, guest host, whatever,
Yeah.
on each other's podcasts. So it was like actually a fun kind of just
Yeah.
like let's just chat about podcasts and video games and everything.
But that's the vibe of PAX East, and I like that a
and
lot.
that's what's cool. It's like I didn't feel weird just walking around talking.
Nope.
Like there's no issue with that.
And like we'd be like da da da. Oh hey, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
da da da. Oh hey, that's cool. Like,
Like
you're
you
just
stop
talking.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to try some of the card games tomorrow.
I think that'll be fun
Wanna
because
try
I've
some
never
of those.
done that.
There's the Schrodinger's
Actually,
cat one I want to try.
Because
Yeah.
again, the joke we made, we walk around and we were talking about how it's so inclusive, like everyone's welcome, but like I don't want to
But
talk.
we
to
don't wanna
people.
talk to
Like,
anyone.
It's like, yo, do you like that game? Yeah. You should, no.
and the card games to me is like that's a tough one because you got to go up and be like, can I play this random card game?
It's like, how do you
like,
play
know?
this game? Like, if you don't want to talk to someone and like, oh,
Yeah.
how do I play this game? Cool. Can I get the controller? This is more like, okay, how do I play this game? You need to like
Yeah.
literally walk me
And I don't
through
know
it.
why, because like I talk to people all the time.
Yeah.
But there's something about like when it's some guy and it's like he's got his game there or whatever. Like I don't want to like play it and be like bad at it or like not like it or something. I get
Or die like 3 times.
like you know what I mean.
Well, you know
I
those
mean,
little guys also like, and they have to do this, and I understand that they have to do this, but they go into salesman mode at
There
the
is a
end,
little
and
bit
I'm
of
like,
that
I'm
too,
like,
yeah.
oh gosh, I don't know.
it's like if you like it, we have a Kickstarter out
Yeah.
now, or like you can. I can see how
and
once
that's
they get
tough
you
for
in-
me because when I do, I've in the past like I was trying some games out and stuff, and I'm always like, oh, like when's your release date and
Yeah.
stuff, and they're like, oh, it's this date, and I'm like PC, what are we talking? Like I get that info, and then like I'm doing that because I'm trying to be like, well, I am interested in it.
yeah,
But then, like once in a while, they're like, "Well, the beta's out now. If you get 10% off," and I'm just like, "Oh, dude, like, let me
'Cause
like,
they
I
have
don't,
to, but they
I don't
immediately
want
go
to
into it.
say no to you
Yeah.
because I love what you're doing and what you do, and like, I wish I could experience what it's like to make a game. Like,
Yeah.
that's incredible. But I also don't want to be the guy who's like, "Oh no, I'm not. Like, I don't want to buy it now."
right.
Well, there's also those games like Schrodinger's cat and all that stuff like that. That's the one that just sticks out in my mind. And at first, I was like, "Do I want to buy this? Because these cats are awesome and these cards."
Yeah,
But like you guys saw today, the Bullet Club shirt. I was like, I don't want to buy this until I know what it's about.
yeah.
Like just because I'm like, I like what it looks like, but I don't want to be like, who am I supporting when I throw this here? So like, I kind of need to know more about your game. And there's a chance that at the end of the pitch, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is for me. It's like the trepidation of like, and as a guy who has made a very, very small game with a team of programmers once, like, I would never want to make anyone feel like they didn't do good enough in their little like small scale project because the stuff on the show floor is amazing.
No,
like
yeah.
it's all incredible, even if it's not the game for you or whatever. Like
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's
the
not
fact
for
that you made
me.
it there is
yeah, if you-
amazing.
if
It's
you-
not for me, but that doesn't mean your game isn't.
And as a
good.
guy who consistently is like, this game's not good enough, like I don't want to.
You
give
don't want
that
to tell
impression.
that, yeah. Because like not just that, like you said, you've made a game with a team of developers and programmers, so you know that like these don't take like a month or 2 months. These games can take like years
Yeah.
to make, even if it's like a small
And we
game.
had, to be fair, we had a week and a half to do it, and it was like garbage. But to play it is fun for that one level, and
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'm proud of that. Like
Mhm.
that's so that I think that's some of the trepidation for me is sort of like I just don't want to influence you any way negatively,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I kind of want to be like, I love what you've done here. Like that's amazing that you created a game and you get to show it on PAX. Like that's the coolest part of PAX to me. The indie mega booth's amazing.
It's
All the big
my
booths are
favorite.
cool to like walk by and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like I'm not like, oh, like Square Enix, like good job.
like, I know-
I'm
it's
just like,
like-
oh, look at that cute cactuar, like plushie or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Get me
Definitely-
every
I
fucking
definitely
time.
sent photos of that to
yeah.
Sarah.
But
so.
you all, it was cool. You actually did get a picture with that cosplayer
Oh, that's what,
as
yeah,
Anna,
that's what I wanted to say. That my other
which I
thing
thought was really cool.
I love because I love like the healers in Overwatch. So I see Anna because the Boston Uprising, is that their name?
Yes,
The
I think
Boston
I think it's
Uprising have a signing table there, so they
Yeah.
have.
and she
different-
was clearly like affiliated. She wasn't just like a
no. I
random
think
cosplayer.
there's it looks like a bunch of them have Boston Uprising versions, and they bring them in as volunteers to do it. I don't know.
Interesting. That
You know what?
that'd be
Her
cool,
name
actually.
her name is Scree Cosplay. You guys check it out. She's got some great stuff. It's
Yeah.
SCREE.
Her Anna costume was sick,
COSPLAY.
and she was
Picture
also
of us
just so
on Instagram.
nice. She was just very
She's
nice.
super
Yeah.
nice. And like I walked up, I'm like, can I get a photo with you? Because like it's Anna. Like you see trace like
Yeah.
and it's nothing against it, but you see tracers and divas everywhere.
Right.
And I'm like, shit, it's and like
Yeah,
Mercy's one of my favorite characters of all time. You see Mercy's everywhere. You don't see Anna everywhere.
no,
And I'm like, hell yeah. And she was super cool. And I got a photo. Check it out on the Hold Up a Sec Instagram. You'll see her name on there too. My gosh. So
yeah,
cool.
she was so nice.
She's super nice.
Which is funny because I, walking around, I saw like a Zarya or two, and I was like,
Really?
Zarya cosplay? That's
Zarya?
sick. And it was
Really?
funny because, and
Pink
please
hair
don't
and
take this
everything?
the wrong way, but I was like, oh, and it was like a dude. But like please don't think I'm assuming anything, but I think it was just a straight up dude being like, I'm gonna cosplay as Zarya.
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really cool. But like I was like, oh, I was shocked there was a Zarya. I was like, oh, it's like a dude. Like, oh, that's interesting. Like that, like
Hell yeah.
because you never see Zarya cosplay. Like
No.
I've seen professional ones like on Kotaku or
Oh
something.
yeah.
So like that's sick. As far as cosplay goes, I did see a trend. A lot of Isabels. I don't know
Lot
if
of
you noticed that.
Isabels
Really?
From Animal Crossing. Which is, if you think about that, that's a
Yes, Animal Crossing. I can't get
yeah.
into
For some
Animal
reason,
Crossing.
Berto hates cute animals.
Hopefully Sarah just doesn't listen to this. She loves Animal Crossing.
Kristen
I-
like asked me about it.
I
somehow.
can.
She's like,
Everyone's
"Isn't there, like, a
waiting
new
for it.
Animal
I
Crossing
can't get
going on?"
into
I'm like,
it, and
hopefully.
I've gotten into it in past episodes. Listen, I'm like, I work for a living.
Berto
I pay
hates
mortgages.
working for that raccoon.
I'm like, I don't need to play a
Tom Nook,
game.
the
I don't
best
need.
Godfather ever.
I don't need to play a game where I'm working to pay a mortgage
Yeah.
when I'm actually working to pay a mortgage.
Yeah.
Tom Nook is just an animal slumlord. Like, let's be honest.
No, he's an honest dude making a living.
No, because he keeps making your
In
house
a friendly
bigger
town.
and then expecting you to pay more. You've never requested.
That's how real life works. I'm so
I
sorry.
mean, my bank just doesn't go.
Do you want a
"Hey,
bigger house? You could say no.
with
You
the
could keep the tent.
with the conversation you're with what you're saying right now. You're pushing me more towards Alberto.
What? Like the bank doesn't come to me and go, "Hey, you know what would be better than a 2-bedroom? A 3-bedroom. You
What-
know how much extra? That's
Where
gonna
were you
cost?"
guys in 2008 during the financial crisis?
Trying
That's
to-
exactly what happened.
Trying to get a job
Except in Animal Crossing, it all works out.
because because you pay.
you find fossils.
You're like,
Because-
I found this peach, and they're like, here's like $500.
Here's $500.
I have
wow.
no idea what money is.
Wait, don't they give you bells? Isn't
They
it bells
do.
that you
It's
pay?
bells.
Yeah, and
What's a bell worth?
Isabel's head is shaped like a sack of bells,
And
'cause she is a bell.
She is a bell.
Is that
Wait,
not-
is that a real thing?
the shape of her head with her ears? It's like it's in the
Yeah.
shape of the money bags.
Are you
of the game.
serious?
Is it?
Yes, I think so.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's meant to
Because she
represent.
is a bell, which is also like there's like a
Yo.
third. Like she's also like a cute dog.
Did
so
you
she's
just
like a
have-
Shut the
Southern Belle or
fuck
something?
Did you just have a ones and zeros
I
moment?
think I
Yes.
might be having a ones and zeros moment.
Yeah, it's
A-
me with Mage Flipper. What was it called?
Any,
Mage Quit.
Any
Mage
split
Quit.
screen Synics fans out there who are listening to this on our last
Hold up a sec.
hold up a sec. I revealed to Alberto in Reboot that all the little sprites are actually ones and zeros, and it blew his mind. And I'm having that issue with Isabella right now.
Sorry, but
Oh my
a
god,
lot of those going
a
around.
lot of those as a
A
cosplay.
tremendous amount of the League of Legends K-pop costumes.
Yeah, that became like the KDA.
tremendous amount. KDA, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which that's cool. I don't know, like whatever.
I mean,
Did you see any like ones that blew you away? There was some Zelda ones, and I'm particular to Zelda certainly.
Yeah.
There was a sick
the Crazy Taxi one.
Crazy
Crazy
Taxi.
Taxi
you
What
saw
is-
Crazy Taxi?
There's a dude dressed as the
What is
green
that
haired
guy's
guy.
name? Because BD Joe was the black dude in Crazy
Yeah,
Taxi.
BD Joe is
forget.
who I always played as.
Yeah.
But he's like the spiky green hair guy.
Spiky green hair, and he had a cardboard mini taxi built around his waist that
Yeah.
he walked around on.
That is dope.
I can't remember his name.
That was so good.
I-
Expect to see way more cosplay tomorrow, obviously, because it's Saturday,
Oh,
more
boy,
people,
yeah.
so you're gonna see.
There was some sick Zelda based. There was the Hyrule Warriors like armor Zelda, and she was with a Hyrule Warriors Sheik, and I was like, "That's
Oh,
like
right,
the
yes,
I
sick-
do
yes, I
remember you
remember.
like stopping in your tracks
And I
and
was
be
like,
like,
"That's
awesome."
amazing.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember you
um,
pointed out the chic, and,
And
I'm like,
also
that is
there
really
was
good.
there was a girl dressed as Zelda from Wind Waker, but Pirate Edition Tetra,
Oh, Tetra.
which I haven't seen before, and I was like, "Oh, that's great!" Like
Tetra. Oh.
I always like seeing the ones where it's like the not so popular ones, and it's funny saying Princess Zelda is not so popular, but like Hyrule Warriors edition of Princess
Yeah,
Zelda,
you don't see
not so popular.
You don't see
Um,
that very often. It's not maybe not so popular, but not as
Yeah.
common because people are like, Princess Zelda from like Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Or something
There
like
was
that.
some good Dark Souls going around too. There was an
Really?
Elite Knight that was
Oh
like,
yeah,
sick.
that was good.
Artorias of the Abyss was creeping around. He had a cool one.
You know what I'm expecting to see tomorrow, being that it's Saturday. I want someone to pull off a Sekiro cosplay.
I was like, is it too soon?
I don't. The game's already out. The game.
Because if you've done any sort of samurai ever, you could just change it up a little bit and like just
I
be
want.
Sekiro.
I want to see somebody do
Yeah.
a sick Sekiro cross.
Is his name
cosplay.
Sekiro? I don't know his name.
I don't know what his name is, but I know Sekiro is like the kanji. Like Seki means one armed, and Ro is wolf. So it's literally means one armed wolf.
Dang,
Whoa.
yeah,
Dropping
What?
some
we're
knowledge. on
learning
that.
a lot of stuff today, guys.
This is the guy who didn't know about the ones and zeros.
This is,
Yeah.
this is ones and zeros.
He's like, this is
guy.
the guy who didn't know the
Yeah.
binary, and he's like dropping some kanji knowledge on us.
It is funny though. I realized today how much like I love cosplay. Like I just see cosplay and I'm like, oh, that's from this game, and I love it. Like it's
so,
just
like,
cool.
I appreciate the art and the fact that people put work into it, and like I can imagine the amount of hours they put into their cosplay, and I can appreciate all the hard work that goes into something like that.
And I feel like there was a lot. Having gone 2 years ago, I feel like it's like increased severely.
It's going up.
The amount and the quality of the cosplay.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there was when I came in, there was like a hunter from Bloodborne too, and I was like, "Yo, that's sick!" But it was like that initial like, I'm new here, so I don't want to like do anything. I don't even want to go near.
That's awesome, but I don't want to tell you because I don't want to bother you.
I was telling Andrew, I also don't like approaching people in cosplay because I think that's kind of weird.
I mean, as long as you ask them for their permission to be like, "Can I take a picture
but like
with
for
you?"
me, it's like, well, I just don't want to be the guy.
Sarah
like,
had issues in the past, but like it seems like the culture is moving in a better.
The culture's definitely in a much better place than it was so long ago. But I just don't want to be any sort of. I'm weird. I'm like, I don't want to be bothersome.
Well, guys, I feel like we've talked about our first night. Is there anything else you want to add in there before we wrap this up and rebooze? Beep beep. Rebooze.
Rebooze. It's so funny because I heard the rebooze thing, but like I missed the actual explanation of rebooze, and then I finally listened to whatever episode where rebooze thing because I was like googling. I was like, rebooze, is that like a game or a comic?
Patent
I was
pending.
like, I was
Trademark,
looking for what rebooze was, and I was like, I don't get it. And it's literally just like, let's drink more.
Let's drink
more.
Yo,
and reference reboot the show.
I'm gonna be you for a second. At tweet us or somebody what game we should play on RetroPie.
Oh, yes.
You're not going to be listening to us to the future. Never mind. I do that so often.
I mean, I would still love
I
to
do that
hear
with Berto and Tim. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be streaming tonight, so look out for it. And then I'm like, oh wait,
No, this
that's
goes out
not
in a few
how
days.
this works. I'm still used to
But
streaming. Where I'm like, I can just.
I mean,
We'll tweet.
still-
We'll put it on all of our Twitter, and we'll see what everyone wants.
Yeah, we're gonna put up a poll, guys. By the time you're hearing this, you will have already seen the poll and hopefully voted. One thing I do want to say about today: nobody claimed a cookie, so no pocket cookies for anyone.
No pocket cookies.
No
for
pocket
anyone.
cookies for anyone.
There can only be one.
No pocket.
The Highlander shortbreads.
Highlander.
It's got butter in it.
Highlander cookies. They've got butter.
They got bugger.
They've got bugger.
They got bugger.
They've got bugger.
They got bugger.
Their tagline should be, "You think these might be healthier than other cookies, but you're dead wrong."
It's like there's so much butter in these. Like you look at the ingredients, it's like sugar, flour, butter.
The recipe to those is like mix butter and like add things until it might not feel like butter anymore.
Directions: get stick of butter.
Yeah.
Eat. Done.
Mix in crumbs until it doesn't seem like it's pure butter.
All right, guys, we're gonna sign off for now. We might steal a couple of those cookies.
You go for it. I mean,
Those butter cookies.
I bought some weird spicy chip.
I don't think
tubes.
anyone's
we're gonna have
gonna
to-
claim the cookies. I've put challenges out there
Come
to
on,
people to
Holdies.
come up to us and be like,
We've had people talk to us about them, so
I mean, yeah,
you just
so-
gotta find us.
yeah, like find us on the show floor and be
I
like,
mean,
"What's up, guys?"
You're
Give us
gonna
a-
hear this after PAX East is
I mean,
over. So
the
I
very
didn't
true.
mention is it too
Oh,
sweet or
it's
toot
too-
sweet?
it's too
Too-
sweet.
It's
too
not like
I had a bunch.
it's not French for quickly.
No. Too
No,
sweet.
that's
Because when
too
I did it
sweet.
with that guy, I was like, toot sweet.
It's like, Gareth is like,
Okay.
"Oh,
We
too
do-
sweet." Yes, my friend.
There-
Oh.
there
I was like,
is
wee wee, toot sweet.
We are going really, really fast.
one more anecdote. I did wear a Young Bucks shirt today, and Garrett got to see firsthand.
I was
If
so
you wear
jealous.
a Bullet Club shirt, people
Yeah.
interact with you like 5 or 6 times. People are like, "Hey,
Yeah.
nice shirt." Or they'd be
I'm like the fifth guy. I was like, dude, I'm the video game guy, all right? It's
Like,
PAX, bro.
I'm like, yeah, he likes
Yeah.
this more than I do.
It was
but,
so funny because on one of the dudes, I was just like, man, I want to be a part of whatever that is. And he was like, bro, you could be a part of it. I was like,
I
And then
saw
I
that.
said-
I saw. That's
Well,
what
I was
Oh,
like,
man.
toot sweet.
That's-
and like,
I saw
bullet-
that.
I don't
I
know if
looked
you're
over.
supposed
That's
to
when I
bullet
was-
up,
the
like-
best part is you're like, I want to be part of that. He's like, you can, and then you said toot
And then
sweet.
I immediately fucked it up.
and,
And, he was,
and then Garrett's like,
He was like,
"Too
sure."
sweet." Ha ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
and he was like, man, that guy is not a part of it.
He's
Yeah,
like, "Oh
I'm
god." this
definitely
guy."
wearing Bullet Club.
I'm gonna
shirts every
exclude
day I'm here.
See, but
specifically
here's the
that
thing:
guy.
was that in reference to like, because I know the Too Sweet is being done now more recently.
It actually, they got a cease and desist. They're not allowed to do it anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
WWE slammed them with a cease
Which
and
is,
Oh,
desist.
again,
finally.
why they changed it to just French for like
Oh.
quickly.
Oh, too sweet.
Too
Oh,
sweet.
Too
Oh, because I was gonna say is that when you got recognized and did the Too Sweet just now on the show floor, was that in reference to the young? Is that a Young Bucks thing
That's an all Bullet Club thing.
or an All Bucks? So was it in reference to that or like the OG Too Sweet NWO?
No, it was
Because
definitely.
that's
I'm
where-
wearing a Bullet Club shirt, so it's definitely.
It's got to
for
be
that.
all right. Because I was about to say, I'm like, when you're talking to me about Too Sweet, it's all about the NWO and Big Daddy Cool. Well, Kevin Nash, he wasn't Big Daddy Cool then. That
Oh
was his
my
old
gosh.
persona.
Oh my gosh.
Because the NWO is just too sweet.
That's what they do now on 2 counts.
Yeah.
Scotty
2,
Too Hottie was in
sweet.
Too Cool. What was the name
Yeah,
of
it
Sky
was-
Too Hottie was
Too
too
Cool.
cool. Yeah, Rikishi, Sky Too
Just a
Hottie,
quick
and
check.
Grandmaster Funk.
And
I'll see you guys next time on Heel
Grandmaster
Feet.
Grandmaster Sexay, rest in peace.
Grandmaster Sexay, yeah.
It's just an
Jerry the King
episode.
Lawler's
Garrett
son.
tries to figure out what he knows about wrestling.
Listen, my wrestling knowledge goes
Listen,
up until like the
You've
attitude era.
referenced heel face shoot twice for me. I appreciate
Dude, I'm
that.
pumping it at this
So,
point.
all right, guys, we will see you around. We're gonna drink more.
Yeah, we are.
Right,
and then
so-
we'll continue day 2 in PAX on the next part of the recording. So
Let's get
stay
some
tuned.
BLL's Toot Sweet.
You're gonna hear
Toot
it.
sweet.
BLL Reboos,
Bon Noir.
and we're back. Day 2 of PAX East, everybody. Woo!
Oh wait, I was waiting to do like the simultaneous intro again.
This
so
is gonna be in the middle of the episode.
Oh, you need to discuss this with me because I was ready to start doing the whole like, wait, we're doing the thing again. I thought it was art. We're not
I
doing
do
that?
mostly improv. I don't discuss beforehand, man.
You know what? To each his own.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
That's okay.
I'm glad we made up.
I forgive you.
I didn't like being angry at each other like this.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
So everybody, wait, I'm gonna open this up. Ready? Here we go. We went to the Harpoon Brewery
Pop.
today, everybody. I'm saying everybody because Alberto and I are the only two talking right now, but Garrett's here, and we have a special guest, Allison.
Hey guys, what's up, Harpoon? Yay! I
Yay,
have
Harpoon.
raspberry-
She's also drinking Harpoon with me.
Harpoon UFO raspberry.
She has the raspberry. I have the white.
The what? Wait,
White.
wait. What did you say?
I have the
White.
The
I
white?
have the
the
white.
white.
I had a raspberry and a pineapple before this, so I'm like, let's shake it up. And then I realized I have to say this on mic, and I'm like, I have white. Great.
All right, now
though.
you said it 2 different ways in the span of like a minute. You're like, I'm having the white, and you're like, oh, I had the coconut raspberry, and now I'm having the white.
Coconut.
Alberto
Pineapple.
has a Bud Light Lime,
Yeah.
and I believe Garrett. Oh no, he doesn't. But earlier he had a Bud Light, and they were out of Bud Light Lime, so he found lime juice, and just put lime juice in his Bud Light Lime.
So
Bud Light.
essentially made it a Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, back in the day on the mean streets of Cronin Hudson, we had to make do.
That's
right?
how you made a Bud Light Lime. You put lime in a Bud Light.
You
Yeah.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
It'd be like that though.
We all each have a shot. Well, the 3 of us have like a full shot. Allison has like a third
I
shot.
don't want it.
You have to,
You
have
have to take a sip. It's like a trial by fire
Peer
for
pressure
anyone.
is real, even in your 30s, and I don't really
Yeah.
want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
It's part of the show.
Take it.
I have to do it right now?
Tiniest sip. Tiniest
Just
sip.
Fuck
sip.
it.
You
Sip.
actually don't have to finish it, but like
No, I'm
Cheers,
gonna do
everybody.
it because peer pressure is real.
day 2. Cheers, everybody.
Morton's.
Mm,
It's not Grant's.
Grants. We got the name right.
Morton's, we're a steakhouse.
It smells like piss. I don't want it.
Imagine if on the bottle it was like Morton's. It smells like piss. It's in italics.
I'll
No,
finish,
I'll do it. I'll
finish
do it. I'll do
finish
it. I'll do it.
You're
I'm
gonna do the
cool.
whole thing.
I'm
Whole
cool.
thing?
I'm cool like you. So
Just
sure.
take a little sip. You don't have to do it.
Yo,
Allison's the reason why it smells like.
She went full tilt.
She did. She.
I just I'm gonna chase it with a UFO raspberry.
That's
She's a
my
damn
wife.
champion.
She's a champ.
We're cheersing our UFOs right now because we are drinking harpoons because we're cultured, and these 2 motherfuckers over here.
They're easy to drink, and you can drink like 10 of them and be okay.
He's talking about Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, drink 10 of those. Let me know how you feel in the morning.
But this is,
Morton's.
again, like we did
It
yesterday.
tastes worse the second
We're-
time.
It does taste worse today than the first day.
You know what's funny is
on the 3rd day, it
I'm
tastes terrible.
protecting the future
It hurts my
sponsorship
soul.
because they're gonna be like, "Who's
Yeah.
Morton's?" Like they're the worst.
yeah, like
But
Morton
like
tastes like
Grants, these guys like Grants.
like
Let's
the
give 'em
guy
a
like Grant's are
sponsorship.
like Morton tastes like piss. Yeah, they do
Guys,
taste like piss.
guys, we're not doing another 10 minutes on whiskey. We're not.
Or
What about
We're here
5
for PAX
minutes?
East.
Let's focus.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Oh, Allison's on my side today.
All right,
That's
fine,
great.
Fine.
I'm so excited about this. So we're gonna let's talk about some stuff we're really excited about. Like, you know what? Let's not actually, you know what? I don't want to like you've never been on the podcast before. You're going first.
Allison, who are you
So-
and why are you here?
Because they're forcing me to.
Wow. Dang.
Uh,
You've heard her
this is
spoken
great.
about. She's Alberto.
I've talked about her
Better
many
half.
times and actually called her out a couple of times. I'm
Can
like,
I-
that's
can
fine.
I-
She's never going to listen to this.
I want to quote Alberto.
Yes.
My wife will never listen to this.
She,
All right,
and-
I was
and
never
it's-
gonna. I
and
wasn't
it's-
gonna call him on it.
No,
I
no, no,
wasn't
and
gonna
it's
call him
funny
on it.
because-
That's what
it's
I'm
true
here
though.
for.
I
Because
know it's true.
my wife has been like she's making her debut. She's on the show, but she's never listened to any of it.
I might listen to this guy. I'm on it.
Well,
I'm
maybe.
egotistical and I want to hear myself. But it's not that I don't love you, babe. I really love you. But it's just like I tried to listen, but I don't do podcasts. It's not just you. It's just podcasts in general. I just don't do it.
I'm not asking you to listen. I
We
just
appreciate the people listening right now do podcasts.
Yes.
just give me just give us the stars.
Well, now we got to get Kristen on, who is
Ooh, who?
Who?
That's my wife.
my wife.
Wait, there's no H in that.
I'm gonna get my wife to have UFO white with me.
It's so funny because I'm like, oh, babe, you should like join the podcast. Like, we could do like a Sims episode. And she's like, I wouldn't know what to say. I'm like, what do you mean? You could just talk about
what
Sims.
you say?
I'm gonna sing the whole song.
That's been the thing, guys.
I thought we
our
were
pack-
trying to keep this like on.
That's
the
more on
rails.
point than whiskey because we've been singing that at Pax East this whole time.
And we've been drinking whiskey at Pax East.
Shut
Not
up.
at Pax East.
Not at. Maybe tomorrow that might change. At least for Andrew.
Oh, that was a weird plan, but I was like, yup.
Let's do it.
Yes.
We're gonna do that tomorrow, guys. Come find us. Maybe we'll have pocket cookies. And
No,
we'll
We
have-
don't eat them
there
all.
will be there will
I
be,
might pick up some pocket cookies at a 7-Eleven.
There will be no pocket cookies. None of you
Um,
bastards came and said hi, so I ate all the cookies.
We had one guy, Tyler, shout out. He was interested in meeting up, or like he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at PAX East too," and I messaged him today. He got food poisoning.
Oh,
Well,
So-
that's
well,
unfortunate. I'm sorry, Tyler.
no pocket
So,
cookies for you.
we appreciate the
Also,
interaction,
there are no pocket cookies to give.
That's
Um,
what happens when you eat Highland.
But let's
There can only be one.
let's go. I keep touching, like, you can't see it, but I keep touching Garrett's shoulder, like,
And I like it.
way to go, buddy. But you can't see on the
Good going,
podcast, like,
Garrett.
yeah.
Way to go, Garrett. You good job pooping.
But let's.
Good job
You're
pooping. Good job pooping.
So let's talk about some of the stuff we enjoyed. Let's go around. Let's each say, like, the one thing we, like, really enjoyed that we played, and then we can just kind of spitball after that. Like, so we make sure the one thing gets talked about, and then we'll just, like, spitball after that. How about that? So, like, Alberto, what's something you did today that, like, really stuck out to you?
Res, please.
Res Please was great.
Res, please. That was the one game I was like really high on. I read about it and I'm like, this game sounds really fun. And based on the description, it could be like super awesome in its simplicity or just kind of basic. And it was really, really fun.
It was great.
I enjoyed it so much. And I was talking to the devs. I'm like, this is like one of the games that I was really excited to see. And I was very happy that it lived up to my expectations and even blew past them.
And this is going to be a weird thing to say. And it's going to sound like I'm trash talking, and I'm not. But you and Allison played through together first.
Which is
And-
surprising because we play co-op games sometimes and we don't do very well.
It
Yeah, but that was
Sarah and I getting at
different.
each other.
That game wasn't like we had to like work it out to get across, I think, together. And like, I don't know, I couldn't do it without you, I guess. But in the other games, I just leave you behind because you're too slow. So
Guys, that's your next vows when you renew your vows.
I couldn't do this.
I
without
couldn't
was,
do
you.
this
I was
without
playing
you,
the
but-
side scroller, and I just couldn't do it without you.
So, but when I play other games, like you're too slow, so I just leave you behind.
Yeah, like we've played a
Yoshi's
number
Woolly
of
World, forget that. That causes divorce.
yeah.
And
Oh,
also, Overcooked also causes divorce.
we've played a number of co-op games together. Like she mentioned, Yoshi's Woolly World, and I'm constantly like lagging behind and like getting in the little like if you drag behind the first player, you get encased in a bubble and just like teleported to where the first player is because
Damn
you're
it.
like. And that was me always.
Well, like, you two played Res Please together. And
Yeah.
you're saying now, like, you guys have had issues in the past, but this game worked for you as a team.
Well, because we
Like-
had
Well,
something.
because I had to die to let him
I was
pass
about
the
to
lava.
because we had no recourse. She had to die for us to advance.
Or he had to die.
least it's for a positive reason this time.
Can I bring up like chivalry? Like the gentleman lays his coat on the water. You know what I mean? So
Equality.
Well, see, here's the thing. We tried that in the lava section.
He
and
died first, and I tried
died
to jump
first,
on him.
and then she tried to make it past, and then she died.
I just
Oh,
landed
that's
in
so
the
weird.
lava
I
right
did that
next
with
to him.
Andrew.
You know what's interesting? It's
And
because,
because- and then
because you're better. Okay.
Don't.
You're better than me at video games. Like,
Whoa.
we're doing a crossover right now.
Okay. We were having
We're
some.
doing a crossover between a video game and a pop culture one, and I'm the one person not on the video
I'm
game
adjusting
one
the
here.
levels live. I'm
So-
so sorry.
He's doing AV on the fly.
But like, I thought it was very interesting. I don't like side scrollers. I'm not a fan at all.
But side scrollers are like platformers because they're two different.
Are they the
types
same
of-
thing? Are they not?
I mean,
What did I? Am I?
there's
Am I
people
being a
use them as
dumb
one and the
casual?
same, but platformers and side scrollers are like platformers are defined by the fact that you have to use like very precise jumping to get to like platforms, like hence the name platformers.
Here's a quick like platformer Mario, side scroller Ninja Gaiden.
Actually, yes,
okay,
that's
I
a
have never
very
played Ninja Gaiden.
that's a very
so-
good
I don't even know what that
like
game
sort of
is.
litmus
Mario's
test.
about jumping from one thing to another platformer. Ninja
Gotcha.
Gaiden's about going from left to right via
Yeah.
Well,
battle
I'll
jumps.
simplify this even more. Side scrollers and platformers are not my thing.
Okay, that's a very good
So-
way.
You're
Is
more of
it-
a 3D type of person.
Yeah, regardless of what Res Please is, the style it's in is not my thing.
Okay.
And I found myself, Garrett jokingly kept being like, we're going to speed run this. We're going to speed run this. And I started finding myself getting anxious, being like, there's no way I could do this.
We turned it on.
And
You
we
guys did
did
it
it.
pretty well.
And like, I think you guys did it in 7 minutes and we did it in like 5.5 minutes.
All right,
Again,
not-
Whatever,
this
dude.
is-
It's not a
this is-
test.
seriously,
here's the thing.
excuse me.
Degeneration
Here's the
X.
thing.
It's not a contest,
Suck
man.
There
it.
is the reason I bring that up. The only reason I bring that up is because
I want to brag
it's the,
about it.
It's the first time I've ever been like, oh my god, I like did it. Like there was like an elation for that style game that I haven't felt before, and Res Play got that. Somehow,
fun.
somehow like they were able to put someone who's like Garrett, who's a diehard gamer, and me, who's a very casual gamer, together, and we accomplished something together. And I'm like, oh my god! And I think it's very similar to like you two when you're saying like certain games you argue on and certain games you're not. Like suddenly it put you together, and you're like, oh my god! Like
First
this
of
is fucking
all,
awesome.
I don't think that you guys finished that game faster than us. I
We
just want
did.
to say, whatever.
We did the.
I
Little
mean,
clock.
objectively, they did. There was a timer that
I mean,
said like
objectively,
5
the
minutes.
timer said.
I don't know that we could
What
argue
about
that.
subjectively,
It
Berto?
didn't feel
Let's-
like that.
I mean,
let's hear that
subjectively, I
It
would
didn't feel
argue
like
until
that.
the cows come home that you guys totally did not finish ahead of us.
They
we,
died like
we
6
weren't
times.
even.
They died
watching
one
you.
more time than
You're
us.
supposed to die.
Yeah, I made one joke about you dying, and like all the devs turned on me.
They jumped on you. They're like,
That's actually part of the game.
You
I'm like,
have
I
to
get
die.
it. I'm like, he's my friend. I get it. I'm just giving him. I'm just giving him crap. I get it. I know
no,
it is.
but it's true. Like, there's plenty of games that him and I have played together, and like, I'm like borderline verbally abusive. Like, I'm like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand how you can just be so slow and you can't get that coin. And I just like that coin is right there. How do you not predict the future and just know to go to the next spot?
Berto's
And I
like,
just don't
slow and
understand.
steady, lady.
And it-
slow and steady.
I literally had to play Yoshi's Woolly World by myself because we couldn't do it together.
I stopped playing because I did not like. It was like, no, I can't do this anymore.
And I
Were
think,
you in the bubble?
All
He
the
was in the
time.
bubble the
My
whole
wife
time.
was in the bubble, and
I was the
We
in the
stopped.
I was the in the bubble.
she's like, "Why am I always in the bubble?" I was like, "I,
Too
I
slow.
have no idea why."
Too slow.
But see, you
No
did-
clue.
but see, I didn't get the I don't know why I got the because you're slow and because you're dragging and because I'm like you're
You're
keeping
holding
down.
me back.
Well, the worst part about it was I would be like, "Okay, like you go." She'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting it," and then like sometimes isn't there like timed levels? Sometimes you have to
Well,
fucking
we did
book it.
we
Yeah.
did all like the super levels.
Mm-mm.
That was my favorite part about us playing. I was like, "Speed run, let's go!" And then I like reset the game or something. I was like,
by accident, yeah.
like, I'm
Wait.
so sorry, everyone.
Oh, you reset the
well,
game.
luckily
on
the floor. We were the last ones because the floor had closed.
Yeah, I was
It
after
about
literally
to say.
closing.
It was
so
about
we
to
were lucky
close.
about that.
That's why
Like,
the
we were
devs
the last
were nice
two
to us.
groups.
For what?
For Res Please, like
Yeah.
To
the floor
chime in
closed, so we
on
had to,
Res,
like,
please.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
still have gummies upstairs. Yes.
Oh, that's right. They did give us gummies.
Always take free stuff, guys.
take all the
Garrett
free
over
gummies.
here,
Gummies.
amateur hour.
I housed those gummies after you made me
Yeah,
take
you
them.
told me not to. Like, I told you to take them so I can have them later,
I-
and then you ended up housing them, which I'm proud of you for. But like at the same
I
time,
had limited pocket space. Like I was
we had
like,
backpacks.
I
The
don't.
backpack.
We had 3 at that point.
What?
I had the. They got me the
We got-
Southern
we got
New
him an
Hampshire
SNHU
University
one.
draw bag.
I got
Yeah,
it
we-
for
yeah.
him.
That's true. Allison got it for me. Let's not say we. Allison got it for me.
Either way,
It's a universal way.
the devs were
Oh, it's the
incredibly.
royal
I
we.
picked it up from the person giving it away. I said, I'm going to give this to Andrew.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It's a
I can
universal
see her
way.
being like, "Got it." I see it. They're handing them out.
Like, free bags. I'll take this.
But yeah, guys, check out Res,
Res,
please.
please.
so much
What
fun.
REZPLS?
PLZ.
PLZ.
Res,
REZ.
please.
Yeah.
Res, please. It's
The
a,
coolest part about it is it's 2 brothers that just did it.
yes.
Yes.
One was
Oh
the
my God.
artist and one was the programmer.
That's
and
really
that's
cool.
the whole team.
Yep.
I actually spoke to the programmer while you guys were playing because I was just like, is this your guys' first game? Like, what's the deal? He was like, oh no, I don't know what programming is, and then I started this,
And then I
learned
just did it.
Unity, like et cetera, et cetera. It took them 5 years because I asked.
Yeah, because they started. He was saying they spent the first few years part time, and then I forgot. I
Yeah, he said he was ripping sprites because he didn't want to get his brother involved. Like,
unless
if it
he know
wasn't
he could
real.
do it. He had no programming experience when
His
he started
brother's
this.
the artist.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So one does all the artwork, and then the other did all the programming.
Yeah. So
Which to me was like, oh my god.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
cool.
the really tall one that we were talking to before we started
The really
playing.
tall
Right.
one,
They're
they're
both
both
very
like
tall.
6'7".
Well, there was
just
one who was
bone rail
there was
thin.
one who was objectively taller than the other.
The guy you
No
were
way.
talking to.
I don't.
Yes.
Even, I can't tell which one you're
They
talking
were
about right now.
identical twins.
Oh well, then
were
I
very
can't help
similar.
you.
I
made
If you
that
look
up,
at one
I
of
know.
them, there was
The only reason I knew which one was which because one had spiky hair and
One
it was
was the
clearly
left
the one
mage.
was
one was
like
the left
mage
mage,
with
one
the
was the
spiky
right
hair.
mage.
We made that joke. He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Dude, clearly one of you is left mage and one of you is right mage.
It's just cool to hear that. Like he's like, I wanted to do this thing.
Yeah.
And he had no programming experience, and then taught himself, and now this game is a thing.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
and
It's
it's
so
ama-
cool.
It looks and the sprite work is really really good. It's really
Yeah,
well
it's
done.
good.
It's great. It's
Actually,
great.
they made a studio too. I wonder if I can bring that up really quick.
I don't have the business card on me.
Ignore that.
Yeah, I was like, that wasn't the studio.
But while he's bringing that up, does Garrett or Allison want to go next on what they enjoyed, what they saw there?
I'll go.
Allison?
We played. Excuse me. We played Fling to the Finish, which was pretty fun. It was pretty much. We were what were we, babe? We were like a bee
bumblebee
and a
and
raccoon,
a
bee
bumblebee
and
and an acorn.
and you're both attached to a string, one on each side of the string, and you have to kind of roll together to the end, and you have to jump together, and one has to stick to this thing and like fling the other one across, and like you can't. You're going through this part with cactuses, and you can't like go too fast because then you're on
Why?
each one on each side of the cactus. So you have to like kind of like stay together at that point. You have to. You all play holding one controller. So I control the right side of the controller, and he's holding the left side of the controller. So I can only hit the right triggers, he can hit the left triggers, and it's like all about cooperation. And yeah, we were playing together, but we had watched the run before, so we kind of knew what we had to do.
Yeah.
We finished that in like record time, and
Yeah.
obviously beat the other team because
Oh yeah,
we're fantastic.
We own them.
Can I jump in? That was the craziest explanation I've ever heard for a video game. You're like,
there was
left
a
controller,
bumblebee
right controller,
and an
like-
acorn.
and it's funny being there. I got it because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you have to. It's two people, one controller. But like, that was incredible. You're like,
That was
well, someone's on left, right, like left controller. Right.
and it was ridiculous. There were certain sections where you're connected by the string, like Allison was talking about, and it's like, oh wait, one of you has to like hold the trigger, and you have to attach to this like spinning platform and make sure you guys don't fall because there are certain sections where you have to like stick to the wall.
And only one character can stick to the wall
Yeah,
at
and
that
it's
time.
so nuts. And it's like, hold on, because I didn't
Because I'm
grab
the
it.
bee.
I'm like, I didn't grab the wall, and I'm just hanging.
Can I
keep me
ask,
alive?
Like what? Because I watched that game.
Yeah.
I didn't play it. Is it a puzzle? Is it a?
It's
I
like
guess I would call it a puzzle game.
it's
yeah.
like a
It's like
puzzle.
a co-op puzzle
It's
game?
like a
Yeah.
co-op
Okay.
puzzle, like racing game, because you were also
You're
timed and you're
competing.
competing.
Oh, it was
ag-
timed. Okay.
Yeah, it was timed, and you're
Wait,
competing
you're
against
competing against
Another team.
You're
next
competing
to you.
against another team.
wow.
So there was a penguin and a bomb.
A penguin,
Also
a penguin and a
attached to a
bomb
string.
attached to a string that you're competing against, and then they have to compete against an acorn and a bee.
Which makes it, I don't understand.
the
like,
first time you said the penguin, I was like, that's a weird cosplay, but like, okay.
And then
Like,
and then you're like in a bomb. What? A penguin bomb?
ba-ba, 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 ba-bombs. We are the sex bombs. Anyway,
We are nice.
We are sex bomb, and we're here to
we're
fuck
gonna
shit
play
up.
music and stuff.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I mean,
quick
it's a-
tangent. I used to pronounce it bomb.
I did too. I did too. I did too. I did too.
We're back in.
We're back
My
in.
Chemical
We're
Romance.
back in.
Who are you
Back in.
guys?
We are the same person. in
Bomb?
different
It's
forms.
bomb.
We are
Yeah,
the,
but if you read it real quick,
the broken and the damned. Boo!
Who are we? The broken and the dead.
My Chemical Romance.
when I was
A
a
young
young boy,
My
my
father
father
took me into the city.
to see the Pax East thing.
This, do you see what I deal with, people?
The
This
rest
is what I deal
please
with.
game.
Mhm.
This is what. This is
Um,
my life.
Yeah, emo. He's surrounded.
Just
Yes.
shoot me.
Welcome to my life.
I think that's. I think
Simple
that's what it was
plan.
So Res Please was
Res Please
fun,
was
and
great.
so was Fling to the Finish.
All right. Garrett,
Anyway, I digress and continue.
Garrett, what was your big thing you enjoyed?
I had an interesting day because I did a lot of stuff. You guys did a whole panel which you
He
might
did a
know.
whole
I might
panel.
talk about it later. I'll see what you're talking about before I say what my favorite part is.
But I did a whole bunch of video games because I broke the whole ice. Where I
You
was
broke
like,
the ice
I'm
where-
going to be a normal
I'm going to
human
talk
being.
to you about your video game now.
I won't absorb. I'll enjoy. I think my favorite story, and I literally have to open my Instagram because I couldn't read the font. I think it's called Watum.
Watum.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
we were trying to figure that out
Watum.
because when you
Watum.
showed it to us before, we
Watum.
were trying to figure it out also.
Not
You said
necessarily.
Matium or something like that, but it's Wadham.
I looked at the guy. I was like, "What does it say?" He was like, "What?" Like the
What?
script is like wiggle, 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 T or I twice.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I believe it's
T-R-I.
pronounced
Wiggle,
Watum.
wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
We're very
Good
musical
assist.
tonight.
Hell yeah. I was gonna say we're infringing so many music copyright laws on this
That's
episode.
fine.
No,
They're not
if
gonna
it's
tag us,
parody.
I promise.
What is it? It's parody and it's less than a certain amount of time,
Yeah, so we're totally good.
so you can't get us.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to step into my persona like, yeah, fight me, get at me. But I'm like, no, don't
Fight
get at me.
I need the music industry to come at me.
Don't get at me.
But I found a game called Watum. It looked delightful. I was watching it. A guy came over. He's like, "You want to play?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." He was like, "Oh, okay, you're online." And I said, "It kind of reminds me of Katamari." He's like, "Same guy who made it," and I don't remember the guy's name who makes Katamari, but he makes weird games. Katamari is like the least weird game he's made.
It's the least
made,
weird
like,
game.
I believe it's called Nobi Boy.
Yeah, oh my God, Nobi,
Where you're a
boy.
rainbow colored snake baby thing.
Yes.
And you
Oh.
just wiggle.
All right,
And so on.
And that is it.
Nobi boy.
I'm
is
gonna
the
I'm gonna
game.
speed run you through my experience, which was I needed a partner. I got a random guy. We had a headset with a microphone communication, which I found weird. We were sitting next to each other on weird, designed after the characters, like ottomans. Like one was like a meat thing with bones out. I was sitting on that,
weird.
and he was on like a green
I
guy.
kind
with
of want to
arms
play
out.
this game now.
Like a Goron steak.
Like, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
it was like that,
You
but
know
he
what
had
I'm
a
talking about.
face, and I
a
sat on
Goron
it.
steak with a face.
You know what? No, like a Goron. You know when you have to.
No,
you
I
when
know,
you
but
have
I'm
to get
saying this has a face now. It's a
Okay.
Goron steak with a face.
Well, and like I was like, okay, and I was kind of watching other people play, and when I was watching, I was like, what are they doing? I don't know who's doing what. The guy sits us down. I'm like, hey, dude, what's your name? He says his name. I didn't quite hear it because the headphones. I didn't have my mic down. I was a mess.
I wasn't prepared.
And the guy who was sitting next to me explained, he's like, oh, he said there was a tutorial and then one of us would join. I was like, okay. And I'm in control
Dope.
for the tutorial. 15 minutes later, I'm like, when do you get to join, dude? He's like, I think soon. Like one player does the tutorial and the other person just sits there. Finally, it happens. I'm like, dude, I think you could press start. It happens. You're basically in this box. The first character is a green cube called the mayor. He lifts his hat up. A bomb comes out, and it blows everyone up. And for some reason, all the characters like that. More and more characters join. You have to complete objectives such as be as tall as the golden bowling pin.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, that's weird.
Be- Oh, all right. I
Like
will
there-
be
a
as
golden bowling pin shows up. And it's
Okay.
like, try to stack as tall as me. What he means is there's golden poops you can make
Oh, poops.
tall. Oh,
by
okay.
getting. So
All right.
here's the development. You finally you grow an acorn into a tree by crying on it. You are the tree. You eat
This
things.
is like a nightmare of mine.
I was like,
the
this,
tr-
this
it's so delightful.
this game is like
It's
an
wonderful.
interpretive dance made video game.
You need to be on like edible drugs.
This is why I want to like. This is the story I chose to tell. You become the tree. You vacuum in things, and it turns into fruit.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I'm following. I'm following.
There's a mouth that's just a red circle with teeth that
Okay.
eats the fruit.
I'm uncomfortable.
all right.
And then
but
you press triangle
so
on
far it makes
PlayStation
sense.
to poop. Like you poop after eating.
Poop
Oh,
is funny
oh,
always.
okay.
The
you-
poop comes out.
I mean, I poop when I eat.
Yes.
It happens.
And so
Not at
there's
the
like
same time.
there's
I know.
sort of levels, and the levels are announced by announcing different things. And after the second you poop out enough things with the mouth, there's this cutscene where a big like weird thing flies into view, grabs on the side of the stage, and it announces to the screen, "Hello, toilet."
Yo,
And it's
I
a
left
huge-
for like 2 minutes to get people beers, and wow, boy, howdy did I
Oh
come in.
man,
You
things
walked
got weird.
in.
I'm
You
so
walked
sorry.
in like the 5 seconds that you were gone. We were talking about
Holy
eating
shit.
and pooping
Just-
in Hello Toilets.
Wow.
I swear to God, like this was the demo. I was 30 minutes into this point. Like, when does this end? Hello Toilet happens. You have to flush the regular poops in the toilet, make some golden poops. You have to stack those up to match the golden bowling ball.
Oh right,
This is
because
the
you have to
highlight
get
of your PAX East.
because you have to get taller than the
yeah.
pin.
What was your?
Keep going.
Excuse me.
Did
like,
you guys experience normal things? This was me sitting nervous on a ottoman made out of fuzzy meat.
made out of fuzzy face mate.
Goron steak.
The second you match the bowling pin, a huge bowling ball hits it, bowls it out of the way, says strike on the screen. Then we soft locked the game by mistake because we made too many golden poops or something.
So you.
Oh,
So the screen was just frozen, zoomed in on the bowling ball gone,
So you.
and a bunch of golden poops. And like me and my buddy, who I don't remember his name, sat there for a little bit, wiggled all the controls, looked at like the proctor, I guess, and she was like, "I guess that's the end of the demo." So that's Wadham for you. Look
So-
for it
Wow.
on PS4
Sounds like
and
a
PC.
classy
So you
game.
you poop too much.
And we at one point, my buddy, this is a direct quote, said, "I think we over pooped." Because what you needed to do was match.
It be like that though.
You had to match the height of the bowling pin, and we were like way over, and the bowling pin was like too high. And we were
It's like, yo,
oh my God, we spent
guys,
so much time."
guys, too much poop. You
I think
shit
that's
too
why
much.
we broke the game. So that was like a funny thing because like I saw someone finish the demo, and the last part is reach for the sun.
Like, yo, we
and
can
the
reach
sun's
for
like
the
a
sun
million
right now.
miles above where
Yo,
you're at.
we
So I don't know
got
how
a
they did it.
million miles on this poop.
What kind of drugs were they taking when they made this game?
But have you played Katamari? Have you played like it's perfect for the dude who makes it. So that was my favorite thing. But honestly, my favorite thing the whole time was just like you guys were doing your thing. I split off and was like, I'm going to play video games. I think I played 5 or 6, and so on and so forth.
So your favorite thing was when you didn't get to spend time with us.
Rude.
yeah.
So you're saying like, you know,
yeah.
honestly, my favorite thing is you guys went and
When
did
you
your
guys
own
went
thing.
your way and I went my way.
And I rode off into the sun.
You can go your own way.
No,
Go
no,
your
Alberto, do not let a
It's
song cue
Andrew's
save him
turn
from
to
this.
speak.
He's saying his favorite time was without us. Do not let him catch you with
Can
a
I
song.
reference? I believe it's there was like the N64 episode of Hold Up a Sec where you just started singing the Yoshi Story song because you were over here. Like we were deep in like some N64 shit. Yeah. And you were like, I'm panicking. I need to get out. And you started doing that.
And they're like,
Yes.
What were they saying?
Yoshi
it,
language.
It sounds like
At
Be
us.
Faithful.
Nintendo.
Be faithful, Nintendo, the Endo.
The end O.
Or the correct answer, which is, we'll have heart.
Is that the actual answer?
No, that's what I thought.
that's totally
I thought it
wrong.
was like, we have hope.
Well, you can.
Wait,
you,
we have
you,
hope?
You can sing "We Have Hope" when you go off without us because that's your favorite time.
No,
for
no,
Yoshi.
Berto is.
I'm going to edit that out.
Good for Yoshi. I might have
Andrew.
to as well.
What is your favorite part of
Oh,
today's PAX East?
interesting. He's turning it back on you now. That's
You-
a deflecting
Wait.
tactic.
What do
He
you-
only got one
He's
toot sweet.
That is
Did you
gatekeeping,
wait?
my friend.
Pause.
He's
Did you
deflecting.
say he's turning it back on me by doing exactly what the process has been so far?
Yeah,
no,
that's what-
he's deflecting because we put it on him. We're like,
No, but
your
he's done.
favorite part is being away from us, and now he's deflecting and saying, "What was your favorite part?"
I mean, I had 2 favorite parts, and my first one I'll say as mine to talk about, because I ended up doing half of it solo, which is totally cool because like I'm the one who's like I want to watch the wrestlers playing D&D.
And I took a nap.
Exactly, and it's totally cool. And the second one, Garrett can go fuck himself, is all about how much fun we had all together. So the first one is I went to the rollout panel.
Yeah, my homies.
And Alberto and Allison went to
With
the
the
first half
top
with me.
back.
Yes, thank you. I was waiting for someone.
Stop letting him save himself with musical cues.
I'm sorry. I like that song.
If I have to like stop myself because I want to sing everything, any phrase I hear from a song, I want to sing the song I hear.
All right, fine.
If I have to, you have to as well.
All right, fine. I'll stop.
Be strong, Alberto.
Okay, I will try.
We went to the rollout, which is the the D&D show for Up Up Down Down, which is run by Xavier Woods, a WWE superstar. He also does it with other WWE superstars, and I had a great time.
It was really fun. That first hour, like I left after the first hour because I wanted to try and hit up some of the other games in the Indie Mega Booth before the show floor closed. But that first hour was really fun.
I like that they had fun. They're good at balancing, I think, playing the game. At the beginning, there was a couple times where it was a little slow, but every D&D campaign, if you're playing for 2 hours, the first hour is going to be way slower than the second hour. Like, it's just going to be that way because setup, and then boss battle and fights. Like, all the fights and shit happen in the second half. But, like, I enjoyed it. I know, Allison, you took a nap. It's not your thing.
No, I laid on my husband's shoulder and took a nap.
Yeah.
But it was a really great
Which is
nap.
adorable in its own way. So, like, boy,
I tried one
howdy.
of those.
I don't want to, like, say anything just in case the YouTube hasn't been posted yet, but that D&D campaign took a left violent turn.
Oh, I'm sure by the time.
Definitely stick around for the end of that,
I mean, I'm
guys.
sure by the time
Woo.
this episode goes up, it'll already be live.
Oh, did they?
Woo.
You said they normally stream that on Twitch or something?
They have a new episode every Sunday at 10.
Oh,
Yeah. Did they
On
stream
YouTube.
that from
Oh my God,
PAX or
horrible.
anything? Or?
I don't know if they streamed it, but I think they're going to put it on
I'm
YouTube.
sure.
It will be on
yeah, I'm
YouTube,
sure
I
this
think.
is going to go up tomorrow on YouTube.
But it was great.
Spice Takis are
Go
hard.
check it out. It's nice. What happened?
Spice Takis hurt my heart.
Spice Talkies hurt my
Oh, they'll hurt
tummy.
more than
They-
that.
Yeah, right? There we go.
They took my.
Uh,
They hurt my small intestine.
And the second thing I really enjoyed
What happened to the other one?
was moving out.
Moving Out was
I
so
had
moving
a
out was
blast with the four of
Oh
you.
my
the
God.
four of us that got together. If you've ever played the game Overcooked, where you have to work together to make like food and send it out in a restaurant, think of that, but in a epic mad dash to move someone out of a house.
But in a
or-
much more friendly way.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's,
you're
moving
not
is
working
stressful,
for
but this was
tips.
better.
yeah,
That's the real thing. Like tips are not involved.
it felt more. It almost. I liked the feel of moving out more than Overcooked, to be honest.
Well, Overcooked again, another game I played with my husband that I was verbally abusive at. And
Oh my God, I just can't play co-op games with her.
No, but this was different.
You know who actually?
evaporate
You know
me.
who got in my way the most during moving out? Now I can say comfortably.
Me?
Garrett.
Really?
Garrett's just like, I'm coming upstairs too, and I just hear, ah, and he throws something in my way.
Meanwhile,
I'm throwing boxes.
all right, now that has been broached. Meanwhile, Andrew's like, "Oh, here's a nice box. Like, I'll bring it down the stairs via the elevator." I'm fucking launching.
Garrett-
Like,
no,
I'm like,
I
"Here's
didn't
a
take
box,
it down
here's
the
a box."
elevator. I did
Garrett's
take it down the
lobbing
ramp.
boxes left and right.
It did take me much longer than I will say.
I was
It
hurling
did take me much
boxes.
longer than Garrett to realize that I could just huck the box into the thing. I
The guy-
will
the guy
100%
said
admit that.
My favorite part is when you
Allison
have
just had some spicy tubes.
Yeah.
No, but I had a Taki, and then I took some of my UFO, and now my UFO does not taste good.
So we will take the Takis away.
Takis. They hurt.
Takis, they make beer taste bad.
I do.
Takis. Why are we still eating them?
Takis,
Because they're
I like the lime taste.
Takis, they're spicy, no?
Bud Light lime.
With the lime and the coconut.
No.
Have
We
you
are-
ever seen a
We're a video game.
flagrant
We're a
red-
video game pop culture podcast with a stinging problem.
Stinging or
Garrett
singing?
just
Singing.
like Garrett and I got very close
I heard you
last
say
couple
singing.
days, and he's made some decisions the past hour. And
Terrible.
I'm trying to stay mad at him, and then you just say stuff and sing stuff, and I realize why I don't want to be mad at you.
No one on the no one on the podcast can react. If there are listeners at whoever, Final Fantasy Spirits Within is the best Final Fantasy 3D game at us. That's why you're mad at me.
Yo, I was just about to say we're moving towards a good place.
No, but like you press more buttons than Final Fantasy
Yo,
13. You have to
stop.
insert
Stop.
said disc.
Notice?
You are being like Elizabeth right now.
No.
You are being Elizabeth right now.
Listen,
have to-
Her
I've
name's Jessica.
Jessica, you're being Jessica Elizabeth.
I can't believe you brought up Hannah. How dare you?
Jessica Elizabeth Hannah is the. If someone has told you they lived somewhere for a decade, don't let them know that you probably know better because you spent the past week there.
Like, listen, no,
just don't do that. Okay,
I've
Don't
been-
talk
guys?
about this girl. No one else knows what we're talking about.
I've been in Florida.
She was a
Just-
know-it-all. And
Just
she
don't
was
be a
good.
know-it-all. Just don't be a
I
know-it-all.
agree with
guys.
Allison.
Where the fuck were we, guys?
We were talking about moving out and how Garrett was just chucking boxes.
So, like, they had to start with a tutorial.
Yep.
And then we moved to the office space. which was crazy. 'Cause
Or the
short-
haunted house. But we picked the
we
office
didn't do
space.
the haunt.
No, we
we
didn't
saw
do
the
the
haunted house, which has a ghost that can attack you. But we did Office Space,
That's stressful.
which had an upstairs. But the upstairs had like 2 ways to get up, and Garrett and I didn't
What
panic.
was the second way? I never.
There was
figured
There was a
out.
Yeah,
ramp.
that's how I kept getting down because you were
There was a
yelling at me
ramp.
about the elevator.
Well, yeah, because
There was a ramp. If
There
you
was a
stop yelling at
ramp.
me about the elevator, there's a ramp down.
well, you didn't get on the elevator. What am I supposed
That's
to-
because I took the
I
ramp.
didn't press the button. It just
the
goes.
ramp.
Anyway, it was double floored. I mean, the guy clearly was like, these people are already knee deep in this game because he walked in. He was like, he's Australian. I can't do the accent, but he was just like,
Albatross.
albatross. He's like, you just take the elevator, and you're like,
Listen, mates.
we both just waited
Take
for
the
the
elevator.
elevator, and it was clear like we could have said like. He could have been like, "There's a ramp on the other side," but we're both like, "Get to the elevator!" We're like already yelling at each other. He's like, "Well, they are in this
My
already."
favorite part-
Nope.
clearly they go to the elevator.
The group ahead of us, he was hovering around and giving them tips and stuff. The first level we played, he's watching. At one point, someone throws some shit through a window, and he's like, "Well, you guys got this." I remember I heard
I
him say
didn't
that. I
give
was
a
like, "Oh, is
fuck."
that the key?" And I just started throwing shit through.
And then
windows.
Garrett's
Well,
like,
now I know where your
and then Garrett's
your
like, I know what I'm
strategy
doing
came
for the
from.
next level. And then all of a sudden I just see fucking boxes flying everywhere. He's like, guys, pick this shit up. Boom, boom, boom. Boxes flying everywhere.
No rhyme or reason. He just like chucked it.
It's called speed running, all right?
It's called speedrun.
I learned it from Rez, please.
That's exactly
We
how
got
we're
5
gonna.
minutes and 2
That's
seconds.
exactly what we're gonna do when we move into our new apartment. I'm just gonna throw boxes out the window.
No, we're hiring a mover.
They're gonna throw boxes out the window.
That was day 2 of PAX. That's what each of us enjoyed. Are there any like quick highlights we each want to hit about what happened?
I have a tremendous amount of quick highlights. Is that cool?
Yo, please
Yeah,
go for it. Like, let's hit some stuff, and then we're gonna start.
Can
wrapping
someone
it up.
else go first? Because where's my phone?
Does
All
it
right,
have to do with the guy falling?
I want
and
to talk about
running?
the
All
guy
right.
who fell on.
we will finish. We will finish off with.
I have one tremendous.
Don't look at
highlight.
me.
We'll finish off with that.
Th-
but
that's the end. That's the end.
one of the, another game that I played, Allison and I both played, was Dangerous Driving, which is made by the same team, or I don't know if it's the same team, like exactly, or if it's like members of the team that
Oh,
did
Gran Turismo?
Burnout.
Oh, burnout.
That's a really fun game. It's just like hit the gas and just rip it, and if you
And
get
hit other cars.
and it's like if you
Rip
get in
it.
crashes, great, but get back on the course, get in first place, make other people crash, and get your boost back up, and just finish the race. It is super fast paced, super fun, and my wife beat me.
Hell yeah!
And the
Oh.
guy next to me was like enjoying the way I was playing. He's like, "We make these games for you." I'm like, "Yeah," because I was like moving. He's like, "That's a lot of movement." I'm like, "It makes you go faster." He's like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yo, I'm definitely one of those people like when you play Mario Kart and you feel like if you lean, it helps
Yeah, no,
you
I was
drive.
moving
Oh, yeah.
around. I had my
My-
tongue sticking out of my
It's
mouth.
called
yeah.
body English.
And he's like, "Well, you just gotta
Body
beat your
English.
husband. You just gotta." And then at the end, like, I was like I was in first place for a while, and then I like crashed. He's like, "Oh, you would have won if you didn't do that." I'm like, "Well, but whatever." I, don't
I was
know.
in first place for like a second too. Okay,
Okay,
You
babe.
might see this if you follow Split Screen Cynics on Instagram. I took a video of Berto playing, and it was 7 seconds long, and he hit a cactus and
Yo.
stopped dead
that cactus
during those
was
7 seconds.
the strongest shrub in the fucking
Yeah, but it
world.
must have been a glitch because all the other cactuses you swung
I
right through.
I drove right through him, and this one was like, "No, you're not going anywhere."
So I'm gonna jump in with some shoutouts during my
Yeah.
solo time.
Oh,
You guys were doing the
It's
D
the
and D
best
thing.
time without us.
There was an open Super Smash Bros. Tournament that like brought the house down, which was really cool. I thought it was incredible. I didn't actually play. I kind of wish I did because I was like, wow.
you're like, I could totally
But it was
take
so
these
cool
guys.
because like the crowd is like freaking out. I thought that was cool. I did play a game Dusk, which is out now. It's a first-person shooter, kind of like Doom and Quake.
Is it on console and Steam or just?
It's definitely on PC. They were
Okay.
playing it with the Switch controller, but I don't
Okay.
think it was actually released on Switch.
okay.
I know it's on PC. That's what I played it on. If you like Doom or Quake or any of those old school things, like it looks like those, but kind of I don't know, like Coven-y, I guess, like bad churchy.
Okay.
I don't know what that aesthetic is. Wadham I talked about, and then the last game was, I'm shocked we didn't talk about. There was a dance tournament.
Which that bullshit like 10 a.m. call
Yeah,
it
no,
for the
that-
tournament.
Apparently, you have to
I
sign
wanted
up.
to
Sorry.
play.
Yeah, I was ready
Allison
to watch.
wanted to play,
I
I
was
was
ready to
like,
watch you guys dance.
You didn't register,
But that shit, you had to get there at like 10 a.m. to register. We were not getting there at 10 a.m.
We can play it
No.
right here because we have it on our
We're-
Switch. So
Oh my God, you do?
We do have it on our Switch, but we
Well,
Well, we're,
that's the end of the
I was
podcast.
about to say,
And
we were trying to
thank
wrap
you
up, and
very
that's-
much for
that's
listening.
the moment. Fuck, but that's it, guys. That's Pax East the last 2 days. We got one more day tomorrow. I'm
That
hoping
we
to
do.
go, I'm hoping to go see Warsaw. Is there one thing you guys are looking to see?
Warsaw, like Russia.
Ooh.
Warsaw
like-
is a
like
RPG.
Poland?
There's a RPG
Or
World
Poland.
War II
I'm
strategy
really bad with
game
geography,
called
guys. I'm a social
Warsaw
worker. Okay.
that I want to see.
That farm game, I think it's called Providence, but don't quote me on that.
Yo,
I'll
you need to
update
let me know when we're going. I'm
I
going.
think it's
to
called
that with you, man.
Providence. They have shirts with just the cute sheep on them. I'm like,
Shut up.
I
I
kind of want
want
that
a
shirt.
sheep shirt.
Sheep
Like
shirt.
cute sheep.
Sheep shirt.
Sheep shirt.
I'm into
Sheep
cute
shirt.
sheep.
She should.
She should.
Shoop shooter.
Sheila's. She should.
Sheep shirt. Sheep shirt.
I'm making a shishi or she should.
Berto, what are you seeing tomorrow?
Probably just gonna keep roaming around the mega booth. I would just love watching the games in the mega booth, and if there's anything else in there that I'm like, oh, that looks kind of dope, I might just hop on and see. Obviously, like you have your bigger companies at PAX, and I'm like, I could wait an hour to play like 5 minutes of, Dauntless that's been there for like the past 3 years.
To be honest, the big companies, it's like computer parts at this point. It's weird.
Yeah, so that's why I love the mega booth, even though they're smaller titles that may not get as much airtime, and maybe they'll not reach the same level of acclaim that the other titles get to. There's still a hell of a lot of fun to play, so
Yeah.
that's why I love spending my time at the mega booth. So
Allison, what do you look forward to?
I want to buy that Skyrim shirt. It's like I climbed the throat of the world,
Via horse?
That's dope.
VO
7,000 steps high, Hrothgar,
Allison did
Tamriel.
tell me about the horse glitch to climbing. With
You
the
climb the
horse.
stairs, but no. Yes, Skyriming off walls is you can glitch yourself up the walls. But if you fall 1 foot off a cliff with your horse, it dies. And it doesn't just die, it goes, "Ah," and then it's like his legs go in
Have you never
opposite
seen a
direction.
horse die? They turn into jello.
It's just like, blah, 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 blah.
Have you
That's
It's a
never seen-
normal thing.
Have you
That's-
never seen a
That's how
horse
it is.
kill a man? Because
My
in
horse kills
Skyrim,
every man.
horses are terrible. They murder people.
My horses kill more people than my companions.
I wish
do.
they had a shirt that was just the Macho Man Randy Savage
Oh,
dragon.
yeah. Horrifying.
No, that's
Horrifying.
not okay.
But we're gonna bring it to an end. That was 2 days at PAX we've had. We have one more tomorrow. I'm sure on each of our next episodes we'll talk about that last day. But until then, this is the last time we talk about it. PAX has been wonderful. We love this place. We love
Been great.
what it is.
Love it.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks.
Rebecca. Oh
And-
no, she's our Airbnb person. She's
Yes,
awesome.
Yes, yes.
yeah, I'm being
um,
serious, not
yeah,
facetious.
this place is amazing.
This place is awesome.
But let's find out where the fuck we can follow people. Allison, where can we find you? Like social media.
I guess Sweet and Lowy on Instagrams.
How do you spell that?
SWEETNLOEWY.
Boom. Follow
Boom.
Sweet and Lowy. Sweet and Lowy. Alberto, where can we find you?
You can find me at Albie, the one and only, pretty much on all social media: Twitter, Instagram, MySpace,
MySpace.
Zynga,
Gross.
Zynga.
I don't know.
Zynga.
I've never had a Zynga. so-
Live Journal.
Live Journal. You can find me on all the social medias. ALBIETHA, the number 1NONLY. Get me at there. If you have something that you disagree with me on, that's fine. Just get me and fight me on there. I
Please,
will
it.
gladly take you on.
What's up? Oh,
Where can they follow you?
if you want to watch me play video games poorly, twitch.tv/GarrettGetsInto. That's 2 R's, 2 T's. That's my new thing. I'm going to stream Sekiro in the future after
Dope.
you hear this or before you hear it or whatever. SplitScreenCynics.com. Split Screen Cynics Instagram. I made a story or whatever. I'm bad at that.
Took 10 minutes to do.
I don't know. Check it out. Whatever.
All right, you can follow myself at AndrewJDV. Again, that's at AndrewJDV on most social media. You can also follow the podcast at Hold Up a Sec Pod. Again, that is at Hold Up a Sec Pod. You can also email us at holdupasecpod@gmail.com. Come at us. You can email us. You can talk to us about us. Anything about that, let us know. You're like, I disagree with this. I agree with it. Whatever. Well, we just appreciate emails at this point. But
Yeah.
until then, guys.
Heel face shoot. Heel Face shoot.
I'm also in a wrestling podcast called Heel Face Shoot. You can follow that at Heel Face Shoot, HEEL Face Shoot. Pax East has been a blast. I love being here with you
always
guys.
been.
So we're gonna go get more drunk and play video games.
Hell yeah.
So until then, guys, stay passionate.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, we're back. You've heard about the last 2 days, and now if I sound weird, it's because I'm over a computer. We're back in our homes. We've had some time to sit and think about PAX, and we wanted to come back here and talk to you guys about day 3 of PAX East.
Sunday.
So let me just check in with everyone. Alberto, how's home been since getting back from Boston?
Home's been nice. When I drove back into Queens, I wanted to get a little bit homicidal because people don't know how to drive in New York, and
Oh,
it
boy,
really
no.
pissed me off.
Ugh. Yeah, I just drove in Flushing today. I'm like, ugh, I'm back.
Yeah, it's funny because me and Andrew, who bonded even more on our way back home, like we were just chilling. We were cruising so easy, like it was pouring rain, no big deal. And then I got home and I was just like, oh man, like I'm back. Which isn't a bad thing, but just I do miss PAX a little bit. I miss hanging out.
I do. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Just the culture of going to the con and seeing games all day and hanging out and playing games all night.
Nothing wrong with
It's a
that.
fun little thing.
Plus Bud Light Limes constantly.
Oh God,
So much Bud Light.
so many Bud Light limes.
We helped keep Bud Light Lime. Like they were like, "Wow, guys, we thought maybe we should like phase it out, but clearly somebody wants it."
These dudes really like it.
The Massachusetts branch is exploding.
I did not expect Massachusetts to keep Bud Light Lime alive. I did miss the misses a little bit, a lot of it. I was a little sad about that, but PAX is great. So let's talk about the last things we saw. I feel like we did our most game playing. I know I did. Day 3.
Definitely.
Yeah. You were like all over the place. You're like, I want
Yeah.
to check out this game. I want to check out this game.
Yeah.
I got some good footage of you guys playing Foundation.
Ooh, Foundation, which, by the way, is the name of that game. After editing the first 2 parts of the episode today, I was calling it all sorts of other names. But I think Sunday for us was sort of like we had the lay of the land.
Yeah.
We knew exactly what was going on, and we had kind of hit everything. So it was just like roam the indie mega booth and play games, which Sunday was kind of like the most exciting for me because I was just so into it, and I was just any game that was open that even remotely sparked my interest, I went to.
Sunday was both extremely exciting for me and extremely disappointing because it was like my first real deep dive into like indie games. But then I was reminded that I have a Mac and a lot of indie games are Windows. So I was like, I want to play this. Oh, I can't. I want to do this. Oh, I can't.
Dude, it's not. Save up some money. You can build a very decent gaming PC that'll handle most of those indie games for like under $500.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably like 400 maybe, but still. It's funny because when I got home, I immediately went on Steam and was just like, wish list. Like I did every game I was interested in or played, which was funny because a lot of people that said that games were out, they're actually in early access. So Foundation, for instance, is not quite out yet. It's in early access.
Well, I noticed that like I was that guy in a lot of it where I was saying like, hey, is this ever coming out on a platform? And I got a yes for essentially everything. I think the only thing I'm not going to get at any point is Foundation. Foundation's the one where like, nah, that's going to be Windows PC, period. The
Yeah,
end.
I mean, even just the control scheme is so.
Yeah.
It would be crazy on a console, I think. Did you guys want to talk about like? Did we want to pick a favorite game? Did you want to just kind of mention?
That was actually
them?
going to be my next question. Having said that, what was your guys? I mean, you could say overall for the show or just on Sunday. What was your guys' favorite game that you demoed on sort of the last day, and then what was your sort of game of the show?
Oh, that's a heavy one. Does anyone else want to take that one first?
I'll go first, certainly. So definitely, I know we keep mentioning it, but Foundation was the game I had my eye on pretty much the whole time at the convention.
So relaxing.
And it's a funny game because like it's just like you just have villages and then building stuff. But something about it really just clicked with me. It took me a long time to get the tutorial. Which there wasn't one. I just asked a dude.
No, at one point I pulled my headphones off. I was like, dude, what does it mean to make my guy a commoner?
Yeah. because it's also the UI needs some work. I think there's stuff in the top right, but there's stuff in the bottom
Yeah.
left. So you're running around. But I don't know. I have my eye on that game. I'm excited about it. Definitely, it has a cute art style, and I just haven't played a game like that in a long time. So, I don't know if that's my game of the. The thing is, it's like we had so much fun playing Moving Out that I think Moving Out
Moving Out
deserves
was so good.
game of the show.
I told myself going into this that I'm not allowed. Like, if we do a favorite, I'm not allowed to choose Moving Out.
Yeah.
But, like, it just clearly all of us had such a blast. Like, that could have been any of ours favorites. Like,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think it
Moving
kind of embodied like we were all together, all playing video games. It was
Yeah.
just so much fun. So my
I
personal
showed
one on
the trailer
Sunday.
to Chris Delando today. If any of the holdies are listening, you'll know Delando. And he was just like, "Holy crap, that looks like so much fun."
Yeah, I showed that to my wife, and she was like, "Oh yeah, maybe we could play that." And I was like, "Well, like, moving's not fun though." So yeah, Sunday definitely Foundation was my main one. The other little bit on Sunday I want to say, there's a game, I think it's called Story of Full Moon or something like that. The title said Full Moon. I kept seeing the artwork. I kept wanting to play it. I have now
this
looked
game.
up.
Yeah.
It's apparently a card-based roguelike, which sounds very interesting to me. But when we went up to play it, there was a guy standing there with hats, and he's like, "Listen, we're all out of hats." I was like, "Oh, that's cool, dude. Like, I just want to play." And he's like, "Ooh."
It's like, no, sorry, you gotta
Yeah.
like. Are you? I don't have you on the list.
Yeah.
Are you on the list? I'm like, I don't know. Are we? Can we play this game?
Clearly, like there
You
was
can
a
keep the hat.
lottery or something, but I didn't end up playing it. But I had my eye on it, so I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I was-
mention that game too.
Like, believe it or not, I'm not at a video game convention just for the hats.
Yeah, that was such a strange thing because we were all like, "Who is this guy?" Like,
Yeah, he's like, you could take a picture of this sign that I have if you want to maybe
Yeah.
try the game
Oh,
later.
let me look at the picture because I can maybe get the actual full name of the game.
Like, didn't he give you like a QR code or something like that?
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. Because we're like, oh well, I mean,
Yeah,
what's the
on a
name of
sheet
the
of
game?
paper, Night of Full Moon. For
Night
some reason, it just said Full Moon on the poster.
yeah.
But that's a future title that I have my eye on. What were your guys' personal favorites on Sunday?
I cannot get over how gorgeous the score and the visuals were for a game that I tried called Deliver Us the Moon. I believe it's already out on PC, but it's this awesome game. It's done. I know this probably means nothing to gamers. If you're listening to this on the split screen Cynic one, it's used in the Unreal Engine, so it's gorgeous. And you're essentially leaving the Earth because it's a barren wasteland to restore a lunar colony that was sending you energy. But it's super realistic looking to the point where during the launch sequence, they make you like flip switches in the right way to like make sure the shuttle can take off. Super up my alley.
Yeah,
The score
it's
was
funny because
gorgeous.
that game specifically, I think was one of the only games where you're like, I need to play this.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
were standing behind you for like 10 minutes, and you were just like,
I
you
did not. I had no idea you were there until the last minute or two. I actually didn't know till this second that you guys were there for 10 minutes, and I'm sorry.
No, you were enveloped, so
Totally fine.
Yeah.
You were in the zone.
You
and
were
like, we
going
had
to the
walked by
moon,
that
dude.
game. You were on your way to the moon. When we walked by that game in the first couple of days at PAX, I looked at it and I'm like, this is an Andrew ass game if I had ever seen an Andrew game.
And it ended up being a very Andrew game.
So was that
I'm
your?
glad to hear that.
Would you say that's your game of the whole time, or just Sunday?
Oof, that's a hard call. It's between that and Warsaw. I forgot to even bring up Warsaw.
Oh, true. That was another like Andrew game. It was like strategy, history, World War II. I'm like, this is another Andrew ass game. You had a good PAX.
Gorgeous art in Warsaw as well.
That actually that reminded me of like Darkest Dungeon kind of art style and almost gameplay a little bit, just as far as the turn-based stuff, because I did play that one as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Deliver Us to the Moon. That'll take my top spot.
Yeah,
Dope.
nice.
Awesome to hear that.
Berto, finishes up.
All right, let me bring this on the home. So I was actually very happy with the amount of games that I was able to play. That's one of the sort of benefits of just sticking to the indie mega booth, is because they're smaller games, you can try a lot more of them because the wait is generally a lot shorter. Outside of Moving Out, which we were all certified. Hold on, let me get this acronym right. We became certified furniture arrangement relocation technicians. Farts, for those of you who are following along. Great party game. So as far as, overall, like if you're playing a party game, definitely get that. 4 people makes it incredibly fun. But that would be the cheap cop-out answer. So the best game that I saw on Sunday was Evergate. Evergate was such a fun game. It was one of the last games we played before we called it a day on Sunday. It had it reminded me a lot of like Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and Will of the Wisp, and sort of its gameplay. The music was very it's a very somber soundtrack, haunting visuals, very neat little puzzle platformer. I was getting very frustrated with it because they put me on a station that was mouse and keyboard only, and as our listeners know,
we should have swapped because I had a Xbox.
I was about to say, and you had the controller.
I also had the pressure monitor where the whole line's looking at what you're doing.
As everyone knows, Berto does not do mouse and keyboard. He is just a newly converted PC gamer. So mouse and keyboard it definitely was not agreeing with me. I was like trying to move left and jump at the same time, and I was like, all right, D and spacebar, and then all of a sudden I would jump left and my guy would die. So I was getting frustrated with that, but the gameplay was very solid. I liked the mechanics of the game. I am so looking forward to this game. Very beautiful. Artwork is amazing. Music is great. Can't wait till it comes out. So that's my game for Sunday. But as far as game of the show, it's a tie for me between Res Please or Cyber Shadow. 2 amazing games. One is made by this team of brothers. One of the dudes did all the digital art, and the other dude did all the programming. And it's this cool little, also another puzzle platformer, where you play as 2 brothers who are wizards, and when they start off, they only know the one spell, which is to resurrect each other. And oftentimes the puzzles require you to die to advance.
I think that's the game we might end up playing the most.
I am so excited for that game to get a full release. I really want to see what the rest of the levels look like, because the artwork looked really good for digital art. It had that throwback feel, which I love, and the platforming was very, very tight, which for a game like that, you want very tight controls, very good platforming, and this game definitely had it, which is also very cool. And then Cyber Shadow, which is the next offering by Yacht Club Games, and Yacht Club Games, the developer behind Shovel Knight, which is an amazing game in its own right. It's super awesome. So this game was very Ninja Gaiden-esque, also very difficult like Ninja Gaiden. I think the fastest time on the demo was 3.5, 4 minutes, and it took me about 8.5, 9 minutes to finish it because I died multiple times in one part.
You were reading the lore too.
and I was like, oh, what does this guy have to say? And I'm like, no, skip it. For my game of the show, it's tied up between those 2.
Res Please also a plus for them. Mm-hmm. The 2 brothers were super nice.
Yeah, they were just super cool really good dudes. They actually commented. I mentioned them in our little split screen Synics story, and one of them responded and was like, oh, thank you so much, because I put one of our favorite games of the show or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
They were 2 just genuine dudes, which always helps.
It looks amazing. I can't wait for the full release.
Definitely look out for that one. I just wanted to mention, I read an article on Kotaku yesterday of someone from Kotaku who went to PAX, and it's my most anticipated games, and there was 15 of them. I think we played 2, and I might have seen 4 total. So there's tons more games out there if you are interested. Just look up the Indie Mega Booth.
The Mega Booth is 70 games strong.
Yeah, and we only hit a fraction of them, so there's more out there certainly. But what do you guys think? 2020? Maybe we'll go back.
Oh, absolutely. PAX East 2020. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe if I win the lotto, PAX West 2019.
Whoa, hey,
Seattle.
Who knows? Bud Light Lime's on me.
No. We only drink the finest. We drink Miller High Life.
It's gonna be funny because you're gonna listen to 3 recordings and be like, "Oh, they're a little bit goofy. Oh, they're kind of drunk. Oh, they're very sober on the internet."
These guys really like Bud Light Lime.
I think one of my favorite parts was when you ordered a delivery of Bud Light Lime. It did not come in as Bud Light Lime.
It came in as
but
Bud
you
Light.
found lime juice in the fridge. You took the Bud Light they delivered you and put lime juice in it.
Sometimes you got to make lemons, or
we're nothing if not innovative.
Yeah. The MacGyver of cheap beer is amazing.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
You were astounded by that. I was astounded that there's a service that delivers alcohol.
Did you get ID'd for that, by the way?
No.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, really?
He didn't ID. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure on the website it's when's your birthday, when's this, and when's that.
You should know that though. You were on the website. Did they ask you that?
I don't recall because at that point we were probably a few years deep.
Oh yeah, a few. Also, we never bought pot. We were supposed to buy pot.
No, we were supposed to do that because it's legal.
Yeah.
Let's hit everyone up with the social media business, starting with Garrett. Garrett, where can we find you?
So once again, if you want to watch me play video games, I'm playing Sekiro right now. I'm actually playing Sekiro right now. Twitch.tv/Garrett gets into, of course, splitscreencynics.com. If you want to check out our website, it just has the episodes on it. We are on Instagram at splitscreencynics. Drop the E's though, so it's Split Screen Synics. I have a whole story highlight saved on our profile from PAX, and we got some cool video game photos on there and stuff.
If you're listening to this on Split Screen Cynics, you can find Hold Up a Sec at holdupasecpod and most social medias. You can also email us at holdupasecpod@gmail.com. You can come at us. If you want to come up at me, I know Alberto said plug me. I'm at Andrew JDV. That's where you can find me if you want to get upset with me about how bad my connection has been with this. If you haven't noticed, kudos to Garrett for his editing skills. If you have noticed, you can yell at me at Andrew JDV.
Hopefully they're good. Hopefully it's not everyone's like, oh, this is terrible compared to the usual.
If it is, it's because they had a non-gamer on with his ancient iMac.
Yeah, I swear.
Who plays games on an iMac?
This guy does. This guy does. Which one of these boxes do I hit?
Berto, where can people find you at, dude?
As always, you can find me pretty much on every outlet on social media at Albie, the one and only. That's ALBIETHA, the number 1 NONLY. You can also, Garrett already plugged Split Screen Cynics, so I'm not going to replug that. And you can also start watching Split Screen Cynics on Twitch because I'm going to start getting us on a normal recording schedule. I'm going to try and figure out how to record our episodes as we record them, but also I'm going to try and get a weekly stream going at Split Screen Cynics. So you can find that at twitch.tv/Split Screen Cynics. Full words, no dropping E's, no nothing. I know we're making it really hard for you guys.
Those stupid
but
E's,
hey,
dude.
But hey, Split Screen Cynics was available, so I took it. I'm thinking maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday nights at like 9:30. For maybe like an hour and a half is when you can start watching the regular streams for Split Screen Cynics. And I'm going to be streaming whatever it is that I happen to be playing currently. Right now, it's Anthem, but at some point it'll also be Sekiro. So you can find us there. Andrew, you wanna take us home?
Guys, thank you so much for having me on Split Screen. If you're listening on Hold Up a Sec, I appreciate you guys being on Hold Up a Sec. I'm really glad we were able to do this together at PAX East. My slow camera, if you were
I think we lost
that
him
was
again.
Andrew. That was probably because of his connection. But I'm going to say, Andrew, that was the worst outro in the world.
I think I'm just
So-
gonna leave it in and just that'll be good.
We will just leave it at that.
Yeah.
We love you, Holdies. Keep listening.
Have a good one. If you are on Split Screen Cynics as well. Bye.